winning. Now, as is Providence Daye, whose aspirations of back-to-back state championships were shut down by Raven Gap. And for all the schools, there are new classifications and new conferences.
Absolutely. 4 classifications in football, and the area came away with 2 champions and 1 runner-up. That in itself is impressive. What's interesting is how the regular season and postseason will look this season as North Carolina expands to 8 classifications, creating and rearranging conferences in the process.
Yeah, one of the newest conferences created was the MEC Power 6. The split 7A, 8A conference may be the toughest one in the Queen City and possibly the state. You got Independence, West Charlotte, Butler, Chambers, North MEC, Mallard Creek that make up the gauntlet
That's a gauntlet.
the MEC Power 6. They boast 17 state championships between them. It's a historically strong group, but don't let the past distract you. It's chock full of exemplary head coaches as well.
Oh, when we saw the preliminaries coming out, we were like, wow, this is going to be pretty exciting. I mean, they came up with a pretty cool name for it, and it's by far. I mean, I think DJ McFadden, I think there's 17 state championships in football in this conference alone. And that's remarkable. I mean, you're going to see there's never a game you're just like, oh, this is an easy one. We're going to get some other guys in. I mean, any game can go another, the wrong way.
I mean, I've been coaching in Charlotte for 11 years. I've never gone through a season where you feel like 10 weeks is a playoff grind, but it's exciting. It keeps you on your toes. The toughest thing sometimes in practice with kids is when you go into those weeks against teams that you might feel are a little lesser to keep them engaged. So we don't have that problem this year. So it's exciting.
Yeah, they certainly don't. Their conference play begins week 6, and with how stacked the conference is it a mad dash to the postseason.
So another conference created, the Greater Charlotte Athletic Conference. 6 schools make up the new conference. That's a small conference. It includes Myers Park, South MEC, Garinger, West MEC, Hopewell, and the Huff Huskies. They were a playoff team last season, and they're the early favorite to win this conference in 2025. But that doesn't mean the rest of the competition will lay down and just roll over.
Obviously, everybody talks about Huff, as they should. They've been very successful over the years, and they're, in a way, leading the pack. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have them ranked really high, as I've seen, throughout the summer.
You look at it on paper, if you don't know who these guys are, you would think that it wasn't going to be a strong conference. But I think Hopewell's going to be very well coached this year. I think Garinger's bringing a whole new swag and energy to their program. Like you said, Huff and Myers Park are going to be who they're going to be. Joe is a West Side guy, so he's bringing a West Side mentality over at South MEC. They're going to be tough and physical. So it's really going to be a better conference than what most people think it's going to be.
Now, it is one of the more enclosed conferences geographically, which could create some tough competition throughout the season and make the bragging rights earned even better, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to continue now with the Southwestern Athletic Conference. It's ready to fire on all cylinders. They've got old rivalries renewing and some new competition brewing. Providence and Audrey Kell will now rejoin the same conference they were playing in the last game of the year this year as opposed to playing in the first in years past. And then there's new schools like Palisades and Ballantyne Ridge that are going to face off along with long-standing schools like East MEC and Rocky River.
I'm really excited to have them back in the conference and really just to be in this conference because I think from top to bottom it's going to be a really competitive and one of the better conferences in the city. But
yeah, both AK and Palisades moved over into the Southwestern Conference from the South MEC Conference, where they finished out as the season co-conference champs. So as if teams needed any more incentive to win, this should create an interesting scenario as the season draws to an end.
Now, of course, there's a lot of good competition to look forward to this season, week in and week out, but only one matchup can be the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
That's right. This year we start out with a familiar powerhouse and a traveling titan. The Mallard Creek Mavericks are looking to show they can compete with the best of the best, and they certainly chose a good way to start doing so.
Not an easy way.
Not at all. They welcome Rolesville to town, a team who only lost twice last season, both times to Grimsley, the second of which was in the state championship game.
And they are loaded as far as talent and personnel. They have been very successful the last few years. With some of the top players in the state of North Carolina, so very aggressive and will be a great challenge for us up front.
Oh man, great program, man. I have so much respect for Coach Tinsley. He's actually one of my good friends. But just their experience. I know they're kind of young this year, but they're a fiery bunch, and I think to have a team like them for week 1, I think it's gonna set the tone for our season.
Now, if you remember, we saw Rolesville in our first game of the week last season, and they put the hurt on Butler in their first game without Brian Hales at the helm. But they should not be using the same approach coming into this matchup. We know Coach Tinsley likes to load up his non-conference schedule with heavy hitters, and the Mavericks are looking to start the season off with a bang.
And they will, because of that defense. He always brings a strong defense. All right, hey, coming up next, we will introduce you to our Varsity Spotlight athlete. It is a story of one young man's return to playing the sport he loves after battling a physical setback. That is straight ahead.
Welcome back to Varsity Spotlight. Now, every week we will bring you all the highlights and scores from all the high school sports taking place, but we will also be introducing you to athletes from around our area who have life stories that have shaped them into who they are in the sport they play.
And we start with a young man by the name of Sincere Daye, a young man from West Charlotte who's overcome a physical setback to be the outstanding player he is on the gridiron.
My name is Sincere Daye. I am an incoming junior at West Charlotte High School. Sincere is a very good kid, very quiet, kind of laid back child. But once he gets around people, he gets comfortable, he kind of shows his personality. I started football when I was 10 years old. I knew right away I was a dog. And I used to go in the backyard and play with my friends, and it was like no pads. So from then, I knew I loved football. I knew I loved the game. And my dad had asked me, "You want to play football?" And of course, it was no hesitation in that answer.
But you think you're on the one kickoff first? Sincere's unbelievable special talent, first of all. He started for us as a freshman 2 years ago.
He came in, the coaches gave him an opportunity throughout the time with the, with the coaching, with the culture that the coaches created. I think that he started to believe in himself a little bit more. So the first thing we noticed was he was coming for summer workouts or whatever, and he just couldn't gain weight. So when we took him to the doctor, they said he burst his appendix. It was like somebody just stabbing in my stomach. They found out that my appendix was inflamed, and they went in and had an emergency surgery right there at that moment. After the surgery, a couple months later, I still wasn't healing, and they knew something was wrong. And I went back to the doctor, and I found out I had Crohn's disease. He was devastated. His emotions, his body language, his whole disposition was just, defeated. They told me that it's something that basically attacks your intestines, and it's like, I wouldn't say it's uncurable, but they just haven't found a cure yet. And there's medicine to fix it, but it will never actually go away. And during that period, I lost about 40 pounds, went down to like 115. I was feeling discouraged. I was just so down on myself. It was like I was depressed almost. Over the next few months, I had about 4 surgeries. I found out that I was gonna have to sit out my whole sophomore year, and I just broke down and cried. I cried so much. My mom cried with me. You know, I could see that he wasn't confident. I could see that he didn't look the part. And you know, it was super emotional because I know this is something that he loves to do. This is something that he enjoys doing. So to see that, you know, taken away from him, it was extremely hurtful.
I tell you what, he never missed a beat in the aspect of last season. We won a state championship, and he was with us every day.
After my last surgery, I got out, and me and my dad said we are going to focus on this recovery. This is what our minds were set on the recovery, and we worked every single day.
And in this off season, he got to be over 170 pounds, dedicated himself to the weight room again, and he picked up some scholarships in the spring.
And slowly, my coaches started to notice I was gaining weight. They started to tell me, you're looking kind of big. It was like the whole process, I kept going up, kept getting stronger, and they just started to notice, and slowly I was back on the field, starting on varsity again.
It just shows the dedication, the ability he has to overcome adversity. Even though he was knocked down, he got back up, and that's what we're always about.
You know, it brings a complete, you know, joy to me. Sometimes I come out here and watch him practice. You know, it makes me want to cry. I actually did shed a tear when he received his first college offer. Here we are today, out here back playing with my brothers, and I'm getting recruited by college coaches. That's the dream. That's the dream I always had since I was a little kid, and I'm finally living it out. That's the dream that helped me get through.
We are the West Charlotte Lions, and he has the heart of a lion.
Sincere, I just want to tell you that I love you, your mom loves you, your brothers and sisters love you, your whole family loves you, and you know, we're super proud of you, and we can't wait for August 22nd to see you put everything on display. I am Sincere Daye. This is my Varsity Spotlight.
What an absolute cool story. And you know, for me, being a sports fan, it's not always about the X's and O's or the wins and losses. It's about stories like that and what that young man overcame.
Yeah, it's so crushing to be at that age where you're supposed to have all the health in the world, right? And to have something that you don't know what it is, you just think, you know, there's a little bit of pain here, turn out to be something that brutal is just so inspiring to see how he came back from it. And you got to imagine, there's a lot of players on the West Charlotte Lions that want to repeat, but probably no many more than Sincere, who had to miss out, you know, on that season. He definitely wants to get back to the state championship and actually get to play.
Absolutely.
All right, well, stick around. There's more Varsity Spotlight straight ahead as we check in on volleyball and soccer action from around our area. We'll be right back.
varsity.gov.
And welcome back to Varsity Spotlight. I'm Bahakel Sports Director Jeff Taylor. Get them confused sometimes. Now, high school sports in North Carolina started 2 weeks ago as sports like volleyball and soccer went live. So let's catch you up on some of the action that has taken place on the court and the pitch. Jack Taylor, what do you have?
Yeah, Jeff Taylor, we're going to check in on Mallard Creek taking on Hickory Ridge in their first match of the season. This was a good one to start out the year on. Hickory Ridge was dominant at the beginning, but it would come down to the wire. They would win the first 2 sets, but each one by just 2 points. The first one, 25-23. They played a 25 in volleyball, and so if you go up to it, they got to play 26 to get to it. You have to win by 2, so 26-24 in that second set, and then the Raging Bulls would wear down Mallard Creek after that overtime, winning the last set 25-14. Now, since their opening match, Mallard Creek has lost 4 more and are 0-5 on the season. They look to secure their first win of the year as they take on South Point tonight, while Hickory Ridge went 1-1 in their preceding 2 matches.
All right, on we go. We now check in on Cuthbertson, who took on Hopewell this past Monday night. The Cavaliers started the season with 6 straight wins before losing to Wren last weekend. Now, this match was all Cuthbertson as they took care of Hopewell in 3 straight sets. The Cavaliers dominated the first set, winning 25-9. The Titans would make it interesting in the second, but would lose that one 25-20. Cuthbertson closing it out in the third set, 25-15. The Cavaliers off to a strong start in 2025, while Hopewell is still searching for that first win of the season. They take on Hickory Ridge on Monday.
Got one more match from the court for you. Weddington playing host to Providence. First match of the 2025 season for Weddington, and the Panthers of Providence coming off a win to start the season against West Meck. Now, this match was a tight one as all 3 sets were close down to the wire, but Weddington would win all 3, secure the match, and start the season 1-0. Providence getting their first loss of 2025.
All right, let's go from the volleyball courts to the pitch. Checking on some soccer action. This is Cox Mill playing host to Marvin Ridge. The Mavericks of Marvin Ridge looking to get back to the state championship. They lost last year in the state finals to Wakefield in the final minutes. And this one against Cox Mill, the Mavericks looked strong, folks. They would get 2 goals apiece from junior Colin McKee and junior Colton Perkins, and they win this one 7-2 over the Chargers. Look for Mallard Creek to be strong all season long. It is going to be awesome. And of course, soccer, football, it's all going on right now, of course.
Absolutely.
Yep. Now, throughout the fall season, as we've shown you highlights from around the area, we'll focus in on 3 of the best plays of the week and then turn it over to you to determine which one is the best.
That's right. The 3 plays are going to be put on our website, WCCB.com, every Monday at noon. You can then head over to the website, vote for that best play. The voting is going to stop on Wednesday at midnight, and then we'll announce the winner the next day. Now, at the end of the fall season, we'll put up all the plays of the week, and then you have to vote for the play of the fall.
It's not easy to do.
Absolutely not.
Right. Well, it is week 1 of the high school football season, and it is week 1 of the high school football season, and when we come back, we'll look at some of the key matchups that will take place on Friday night and get you set up for the Keep Pounding Classic. That same Friday night, more Varsity Spotlight coming at you next. Don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back to Varsity Spotlight, where high school sports is the headline. Now, earlier in the show, we previewed our game of the week between Rolesville and Mallard Creek. That is just one of the great matchups of week number 1.
Yeah, there are a lot of teams with top-tier talent facing off early in week 1, and some classic matchups as well. The season starts with a bang, with 2 games at Bank of America Stadium on Friday night. It is the Keep Pounding Classic, featuring 2 state championships going head-to-head. It's going to be Grimsley against West Charlotte. They're facing each other, and then a border battle between 2 powerhouse programs, Huff and South Point. Both squads eager to surpass their end results from last year.
I mean, we coming off a great season last year with a lot of point scoring and shutting people down. So, I mean, being one of the returners from that team from last year, I mean, I come to bring the same intensity. So, I mean, if South Point said they're hungry, I want to take their word. I say Huff got it more over here.
And that's just how the night kicks off. There are tons of games throughout the area and outside of the city limits.
Now, with all the brand new conferences, the non-conference competition is on another level this season.
Putting it lightly.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there's a ton of games out there in week 1. The tough part is to figure out which ones to go to.
Yeah.
You got a plan?
Plan is a strong word there. We spent the whole offseason trying to narrow it down, and while there are a ton of great matchups, we can only go to so many, right? So it's hard to pass up an opportunity to see 2 powerhouse programs facing off. That's Weddington hosting Mooresville, which could be a preview of a late-round playoff matchup. Weddington looking to bounce back. They might have lost a few seniors like Gregory Fee at the helm. They still tout a dominant defensive front outfitted with Thomas Davis Jr.
Know that
Notre
name?
Dame. Yep. And then the Harris twins, Aiden and Drew, both going to South Carolina. But
Spurs up.
But don't count out Mooresville.
Exactly.
Temple commit Brody Norman is looking to lead this squad deep into the postseason with a new weapon in Jordan Cleaves on the offense. And Jason McCollum transferring late in from Hickory Ridge on the way to Vanderbilt.
That's a shocker.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? There's another one. AK and Cuthbertson, 2 programs looking to dominate their respective conferences. Of course, that's no walk in the park if you are Cuddy.
Yeah.
Then right around the corner, we'll go Marvin Ridge, Cox Mill are both looking to get off to strong starts as they kick off their season.
Yeah, but there's even more action around the area.
Take a deep breath.
Outside the city limits, Chambers Independence taking on a pair of South Carolina schools, one hosting Clover, the other on the road against Gaffney, respectively. Charlotte Catholic is now a part of that brutal Southern. Yeah.
We got more. Lake Norman starts the year off taking on Sun Valley. South Iredell is on the road taking on East Lincoln, and then another powerhouse pair of matchups. Listen to this one. Kings Mountain hosting Shelby, and South Point and Belmont taking on Hickory.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's just a ton of matchups in the beginning that are just wild. Now, last but certainly not least, a battle of the bees, or bee-like creatures, I guess. Salisbury facing off against Forest Hills, the Hornets and the Jackets, and is one of the most competitive small-town matchups you're going to find in the Carolinas. Lincolnton opening up the year hosting Maiden. They shut down the whole area for that game. It's going to be huge.
You know, that's the best part about high school football.
Right.
When you think about it, and you think about all of these kind of conference matchups, non-conference matchups, and how tough it's going to be. You take something like that last matchup you mentioned.
Yeah.
The town will shut down.
Absolutely. And
I mean, restaurants will be closed, barbershops will be closed. It's just, and it's the best part of really Friday Night Lights.
Especially the dynamic shift for going from the last game of the season now to the first game of the season. Because you split them up. They're not in the same conference anymore. And now they're going to be playing that first week. Now, that's all just Friday night. There's more Saturday night.
Yeah.
Right? The action continues into the rest of the night as you see just the rest of these games going forward.
Right.
You're going to have the kickoff classic at
Memorial Stadium.
You're going to see J.M. Robinson up against Myers Park and Olympic up against Butler. Those are going to be 2 powerhouse matchups that you're going to see in that doubleheader on Saturday night.
I'm curious to see Butler now with Coach Hale's back.
Yep.
And how that team responds. I got a feeling I know how they'll respond.
Absolutely.
And they're going to get some wins. Olympic, listen, they're tough. They've always been tough. So, 2 great matchups there.
Absolutely. Myers Park was in the Keep Pounding Classic last year, and they gave Independence a run for their money at the very end of that game. So it'll be interesting to see how J.M. Robinson, with all the weapons they have on that squad, is able to fare against a tough Myers Park squad. They keep knocking on the door of the conference and the playoffs, and you got to think Chris James, in his continuing year, this early time with the program, is finally going to get one passed into the postseason. But that J.M. Robinson squad, they've got some dogs on the team, and that's putting it literally for the Bulldogs. Well, hey, that is it for Varsity Spotlight for this week. Make sure you check out our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week between Rolesville and Mallard Creek. Kickoff is 7 p.m., and you can catch it on BahakelSports.com and MeTV.
And don't forget, you can see Jack and myself 10:30 on Friday night right here for the Blitz. We'll bring you all the scores and highlights from all the high school football games in the Queen City and surrounding areas for week 1. Have a great weekend. Enjoy all the football. We will see you next week right here on Varsity Spotlight. Enjoy.
Care Center, as well as Fred Caldwell Chevrolet, home of the Silverado guys. Visit FredCaldwellChevy.com. Kickoff just moments away. The Rams of Rolesville against the Mavericks of Mallard Creek. It all happens when we return on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. The Mavericks of Mallard Creek fired up to host here on night one of the high school football season. Their opponents, the Game Rams of Rolesville. This is a potent offense, and we saw them come to Charlotte in week one last year and put a hurting on Butler.
Yeah, this is a really good football team, offense, defense, and special teams. I think one of the great things to watch in this matchup tonight is going to be the line of scrimmage. This is a big, physical Rolesville offensive line. This Mallard Creek defense can get after you with their athleticism and speed, and they've got some size up front as well. I urge everyone tonight to watch this football game in the trenches, because not only is this Rolesville football team really good, Mallard Creek and Kennedy Tinsley and what his football team is all about, they're going to play good defense, they're going to be physical, they're going to make plays all over the field.
So Mallard Creek will begin receiving the opening kickoff. And Kennedy Tinsley, when we spoke with him earlier this week, said, Reggie, to beat Rolesville, it's one thing to play mistake-free football, to execute your game plan, et cetera, et cetera. He noted that game against Butler early in last season and said, look, to beat these Rams, you're probably going to have to score a lot of points.
Yeah, you're going to have to score points. And most importantly, in doing that, you're going to have to take some time off the clock. This is an explosive Rams offense. But this Mallard Creek offense, one of the things that we know they've been able to do historically is use the ground game to pick up yards. They squeeze down the clock against their opponents and make plays.
This kickoff brought to you by Queen City Home Store, where you're always home. On the return for Mallard Creek is Xavier Edmonds to midfield and beyond, inside the 40, and a huge opening statement by the Mavericks. They call him Batman. Initially muffed it, but we'll call it a dribble forward.
Yeah, it's almost like it was planned, picked it up on the run, and a nice job. What I love about that, he didn't panic. And then he got north and south, didn't think about making a cut, tried to get as much as he could, gets great field position for his team.
So Mallard Creek with the spot at the plus 35-yard line to begin their season. Perry Justice, number 3 in Navy, is the starting quarterback. Sending men in motion. And it's a handoff. And Xavier Edmond, who returned to the opening kick, bottled up.
See him trying to work up inside, not much to the right, and then runs into that wall. That nice defensive play there by Xavier Griffin-Haynes.
Griffin-Haynes, a key component of this Rolesville defense. Very talented side for them. And now it's a give up the middle. This time Josh Person on the carry for Mallard Creek. Not much doing there, so a couple of plays, 3 total yards for the Mavericks.
I like the tempo. They're getting up to the line of scrimmage quickly, dictating personnel and formation as well.
Justice alone in the backfield, gets rid of it quickly. It's caught on a quick hitch. Khalil Price with his first catch of the season.
Yeah, that's a nice job. Price just kind of runs a little bit of a hook route, just goes and sits down in the void in that zone, makes a nice catch, gets north and south, picks up the first down.
Needed 7, they got 8. Mavericks quickly back to it. Justice pump fakes, has to roll, and slides down in the backfield.
Let me tell you something. That play right there was absolutely phenomenal on the edge by Marquise Bryant. They wanted to throw a swing route out to the left. He covers that up, and then as the quarterback rolls out there, and you see Justice now headed towards the sideline with a little bit of an injury, but Bryant recognized what they were trying to do to him, locks up the receiver, shuts that throw down, and then sheds and slows the play up so they can't get outside. That's really well done by Bryant.
So Sam Cheeseborough, the senior, and a transfer from West Meck, will assume the quarterback position for Mallard Creek. Unfortunate to see. Perry Justice, one of the many seniors on this team, you can tell his head coach, Kennedy Tinsley, just has a strong bond with. Very excited for these guys to get out there and play a senior season. So Cheeseborough on his first snap on 2nd and long. And a flag with movement on the offensive line.
Penalty against the Mavs.
It's going to be the left tackle, Austin Ballou. You'll see him rise up out of his stance right there, and that's what they got. One of the things we will tell you about Cheeseborough being in there was a plan for him to play some tonight anyway, have some packages and some things for him, even if Justice were to remain healthy. So if Justice even is able to come back in the game, I still think we'll see some of Cheeseborough.
Cheeseborough to Khalil Price.
Price on the catch on a screen, gets back to the 30-yard line, so only a couple on the gain. And now it's going to be 3rd and 16 for the Mavericks.
And we knew coming into the game, didn't know exactly what it was. I'm not quite sure if Justice has aggravated something or if it's something new, but Coach Tinsley told us he was a little bit banged up in preseason camp, and now he goes out early in this game.
3rd and long. Cheeseborough rolls, pursued, evades a tackle, brought down from behind on the second to try. Jaden Brody pulls him down. That legendary tackle brought to you by Queen City Home Store, taking on the toughest stains at home with the toughest washers in the game.
Nice play that time by Brody, recognizing Cheeseborough was able to make one guy miss. Couldn't keep Brody from bringing him down.
Creek going for it on 4th. They need 17 to get it to the 14-yard line. Cheeseborough airs it out. He's got Price to the end zone. Touchdown, Mavericks. Khalil Price, a track star, even effective on the short field.
Yeah, just does a nice job. He's to the right of your screen there. They basically motion into trips. He works up the middle. Safety gets a little bit confused. He runs right through everybody, and he's wide open in the back of the end zone. Kalen Johnson looking around for some help. They didn't get on the same page with that route combination with the trips off of the motion. And nice recognition by Cheeseborough, and you get a touchdown pass early in this game to get the crowd back in it. There was a little bit of trepidation and weird energy, if you will, as the extra point is good. After Justice went down, they get the touchdown pass. The energy comes back into this place. Big-time play there. Nice throw and well done, well executed by this offense.
Ashton Blevins good on his first PAT of the season, and a 7-0 Mallard Creek lead. They had to convert a third down of 7 yards. They didn't get the 16-yard third, but they come up big, 31 yards from Cheeseborough to Price for the score.
Yeah, they just kind of lost Price as he worked up the seam. Didn't really have an explanation or an answer for that route combination. You had someone working up the sideline. Price goes up the middle, up the seam, nobody there. You get an easy touchdown pass. It's a great call by this offensive staff of Mallard Creek. Nice read there by Cheeseborough. You get a touchdown.
This kickoff powered by Queen City Home Store, where you're always home. Ashton Blevins, who just knocked down the extra point. Again, 7-0 Mallard Creek.
Blevins to kick off for the Mavericks.
Big opportunity here for Mallard Creek. Get your defense on the field with a little energy, a lead. Keep everything in front of you, nothing explosive.
Nice kick.
Blevins' kick is into the end zone, so no chance for Kalen Johnson on the return.
Both coaches talked about trying to kick touchbacks and forcing the other team to have to drive the length of the field on a consistent basis.
So here are the Rolesville Rams. The offense led by Caleb Williams. He goes by Honcho most of the time. He was the starting quarterback at Holly Springs High School last year. 68% completion, 20 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions. And he'll try a handoff, but whistles stop the play prematurely. And encroachment the call against Mallard Creek, so an immediate gain of 5 on the penalty.
And this is what you don't want to do. Don't give away free yards, both teams. Don't give away yards in a game like this. Going to be a tight game, hotly contested. Got to be smart at the line of scrimmage.
Now on 1st and 5, the Rams drop back with Williams. He gets rid of it on a hitch, a catch, and go. And a first down. It's another Bodyworks Plus first down. Caught by Gavin Waddell.
Nice job by Waddell. Just works up the middle of the field, kind of sits down in a little bit of a void. Nice catch, gets upfield, and moves the chains.
1st and 10 from the 37. Williams quickly back to Waddell on a screen, and he's wrapped up immediately and brought down for a narrow gain.
I think this is one of the things that's going to be very interesting to watch in this football game. Both of these defenses, especially the secondaries, are fast to the football, and they're really good tacklers. A lot of those kind of screens, those inside short throws, going to be tough to get a lot of yards after catch consistently because of the way these two defenses run to the football.
Senior DB Chase Spellman on the quick tackle there. Second down, and another flag comes out. And again, it's against the Mavericks, another encroachment call.
And the other thing to remember about high school football, as soon as you step over the line of scrimmage defensively, even if you don't touch anybody, that's an offsides call. So you don't have time to get back. Another one of those penalties. Got to stay disciplined on the defensive side of the ball, especially D linemen. Just look at the ball and then get off.
2nd and 5 again following the penalty. And Williams hands it to the star running back, Amir Brown, who does not make much ground.
And this Mallard Creek defensive front, bigger, one of the bigger, more physical defensive fronts, but they can run as well, especially in the linebacker spots. These linebackers really run, get downhill to the football, and then they're physical, and they show up in a bad mood.
Now it's a 3rd and 7 to go for Rolesville. First 3rd down of the season for the Rams. Williams with Brown behind him. Looking to pass. It's an out to Waddell. He gets to the edge, bangs through a man, and gets past the first down marker, not quite to midfield.
That's a great job by Waddell, understanding where he had to go, makes a nice catch, physical as a receiver to get upfield, runs through a tackle right there, and then lunges and finds a way to move the chains. That's well executed.
That's another Bodyworks plus first down. Williams goes deep. It's caught right at the marker, and they're inside the 40-yard line now. And another catch by the senior Waddell.
This is pretty well executed. Honcho will tell you he's got to get this ball down and more on a line and get it there quicker, give his guy a chance to make a move quicker and get up the field, and maybe you got a chance to turn that into a big play.
Rams moving quickly, 1st and 10. Ball is at the 39-yard line. Tighter formation here. And Williams fakes the give, keeps it himself, goes right up the chute for a gain of 4.
And that's something about Williams as well. He can run the football. He's athletic enough. Probably more athletic than most people realize until you see him up close and you see him start moving around. Then you realize, oh, wait, he's a lot more athletic than I thought. Had a chance to look at him a little bit pregame, and he looks the part of a quarterback, not the tallest guy, but understands it's got good arm discipline and can make all the throws.
With a man behind him, it's another handoff. Brown wrapped up, brought down in the backfield. The Mavericks, A.J. Henderson with the stop.
That's a great job getting penetration there by Henderson. Right up inside, splits 2 guys, makes a play in the backfield.
That legendary tackle brought to you by Queen City Home Store, taking on the toughest stains at home with the toughest washers in the game. And it's a big 3rd down now, 8 to gain for the Rams.
Here we go, Maverick defense, 3rd down.
Matthew Harris had to come off the field. I think it's an equipment thing, so keep an eye on that right there.
Williams, play fake. Airs it over everyone and incomplete, and it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, I think Chase Spellman, number 5, made that play. He started to drive on that route to Waddell on the outside. And then Honcho, I think Caleb Williams wanted to maybe go inside, couldn't really make a decision, threw it in between, had to throw that football away. Nobody was open. Good defense that time on a critical 3rd down by the Mavericks.
So the Rams will elect to punt it away. Riley Daniels is their kicker and punter. He gets a clean kick off. Spellman, the deep man, to receive it for the Mavericks, but it's down to just beyond the 5-yard line.
Down around the 7-yard line.
7-0. Mallard Creek on top so far in this one on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
inside their own 10-yard line.
Long field to go for Mallard Creek after the defensive stop by the Mavericks. They scored on their opening drive, and they began at their own 7-yard line here. Sam Cheeseborough still in at quarterback. Hands it off, and Josh Person is stopped.
This is a big possession right here, in my opinion, for the Mavericks. If nothing else, you want to pick up a couple of first downs, start to change field position at the very least. They're going to be a little bit conservative here, backed up in their own end, but you certainly want to be able to move the chains a couple of times. Give yourself some room just in case you have to punt.
After the loss of 2, Cheeseborough, play fake, hit as he throws it, and did it fall onto the ground incomplete? It did. That was nearly an interception by Kalen Johnson.
Yeah, you see Cheeseborough working to his right. The pressure is immediate, and he's able to get that football away, and Kalen Johnson almost had room service. Excellent job creating the pressure there by Malachi Harris.
Brings up 3rd and long, 12 to gain for the Mavericks deep into their own territory.
Malachi Harris, an absolute freak of an athlete.
3rd and long for the Mavericks.
He's about 250 pounds, and oh, by the way, when he puts his pads on, he can do a backflip.
Cheeseborough, deep look, he's got Khalil Price to the 15. He breaks free and gets to the 20-yard line.
How about Price making this catch contested against Kalen Johnson, one-on-one situation outside, makes a big-time play, and he's able to move the chains.
With another Body Works plus first down. Mavericks are now 2 for 3 on 3rd down conversions.
That was about as well covered as it could be. Nice job by Cheeseborough fitting that football in there, and Price making a nice grab.
Cheeseborough hands. Nothing doing on the run. Person brought down immediately.
That's Harris again. This is a really deep group of defensive front players. They go about 6 or 7, maybe even 8 deep up front there. You'll see a lot of different guys. We've seen Malachi Harris make his presence felt a couple of times. They've got a freshman in Genesis Allen that'll make some plays, Jaden Colson, and we haven't even talked about Xavion Griffin-Haynes.
Cheeseborough on 2nd and long. Finds a man, short yardage. Ishmael Abdul-Ali breaks free. Hurdles to the 45 where he's brought down.
Number 35, Ishmael Abdul-Ali.
How about Cheeseborough has come in this game, played with poise and confidence, delivered the football on a consistent basis in an accurate way, giving his guys opportunities to make plays. Tackling not great so far, and you pick up big plays.
That's a speed check by Abdul Ali, brought to you by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet, home of the Silverado guys. Visit FredCaldwellChevy.com. You'd think, I mean, of course, with Mason Kelly and Khalil Price, the track stars on this Mallard Creek team, those are the speedsters, usually. Abdul Ali, happy, I'm sure, to receive that honor.
Yeah, that's a big play there, though. I mean, listen, we just talked about it, right? One of the things I outlined at the beginning of the drive, you got to at least get a couple of first downs, flip the field position a little bit. Now they're in a situation where one more first down, they're in plus territory, and you're thinking about extending this lead to 2 possessions. So at the very least, you have flipped field position. At the very best, you got an opportunity to make this a 2-score ball game. I like the stoppage there by Coach Rackley and Rolesville, kind of get his guys under control. I think right now, probably a little bit concerned about some of the secondary tackling. We've seen a couple of plays for the secondary, not able to get guys on the ground. I think he's just trying to settle his guys down right now. Feels like they need to settle down and they can play some better football.
Now 1st and 10, all the way up to the 45-yard line. Mallard Creek goes with a run. Person is stopped prior to the line of scrimmage. And forgive me, that's Antonio Folks on the carry, his first. Loss of 1, 2nd and long. Play fake. Cheeseborough had it knocked away and high up into the air. That floated, and the Mavs lucky that did not turn into an interception.
I'm going to tell you right now, they've got to figure out, and when I say they, I'm talking about the Mavericks. Number 88, Malachi Harris, every time we look up, he is the one in the backfield creating problems. They've got to get him blocked if they want to keep this offense on track in this ballgame.
3rd and 11. Cheeseborough finds his man. Kelly, a back step, and then enough to get the first down.
This is a great job by Cheeseborough. Understands the coverage. Just a little bit of a slant route there. Throw it inside, get your guy, and then let him make some guys miss and pick up another first down.
First catch of the evening for Mason Kelly. Now a handoff. Folks right up the middle. He gets past the 40, inside the 40, but a flag. Looks like it's going to bring it back.
Antonio Folks on the carry.
And it's a hold against Mallard Creek.
That's what you've got to be careful of. Now, that was a first down situation, and now you're looking at 1st and 20 potentially. And then all of a sudden, you become a little bit more predictable. Be interesting to see what the call is off of this. Now you're in a 1st and 20 situation. Are you predictable? Do you put it in the air here, or do you stay patient with the running game? Maybe you can pop one.
The holding is confirmed, so back to their own 48-yard line.
Still first down for the Mavericks.
1st and 20. Cheeseborough looking to go deep to Price and just overthrows him. He found a seam up the middle.
Darren, right now, I'm looking at Coach Rackley and his coaching staff, and this secondary for Rolesville, there's a whole lot of palms showing up to each other. They're not on the same page back there. I'm not quite sure who's right, who's wrong. I don't know what's going on, but they're not on the same page. Anytime you see multiple defensive backs, and I know because I was one, and guys are continuing to show their palms, they don't know they're not on the same page.
Cheeseborough overthrows the back in the flat. Xavier Edmond can't pull it in, but a flag comes out. So we'll see what this is.
This could potentially be, that's in the area, could be an illegal man downfield or maybe even a pass interference if they're blocking before the pass was caught. Or it could be something after the play. That flag came in kind of late.
It is certain to have big ramifications either way. And it is against Mallard Creek after the play.
Yeah, so you lose the play and the yardage. That is a huge penalty. Field position, again, lost. This was a nice drive. It was going well, and now it's going backwards.
Unsportsmanlike against the Mavericks.
An unsportsmanlike conduct is what is assessed. So that's lost yardage all the way back to their own 33-yard line. Third down, they got to go 17 to get to midfield and another 8 to get to the opposite 42. So 3rd and 25. They'll go to Khalil Price. And he is swarmed and eventually brought down by Javon Campbell.
4th down for the Mavs.
That was 3rd and forever. You just be smart there and get your punting unit out there. The 2 return men, well, now it's going to be 1. The return man is essentially standing at the first down marker.
Gavin Waddell back to receive for Rolesville.
Blevins to punt. Gavin Waddell back deep to receive the punt.
Nice kick by Blevins.
Fair catch called for. Waddell down inside the 20-yard line.
Excellent punt by Ashton Blevins.
Got a good punter. A lot of things can change. That's a big-time punt right there.
You talked coming into that possession, Mallard Creek started so far back in their own territory, flipping the field or at least trying to regain it to where you get it closer to an even in the field position battle.
Yeah.
I mean, that punt solved a lot of problems there.
Absolutely. And again, those first couple of first downs to get out to the 40-plus, your own 40-plus helped. And then as you mentioned, you got the penalties. You go backwards a little bit. Big-time punt there. And you got good field position situation potentially.
Now hold up, back toward where the punt was snapped. There's another flag.
If I'm Coach Rackley and there's a chance for me to have them punt this football again, I'm having them punt it again. I want to make your special teams unit run again. I'm going to presume you're not going to get as good a kickoff, and I want to give Waddell a chance to return it.
And an illegal formation is the call against Mallard Creek. So they're going to redo fourth down.
Absolutely. This is the right decision. Coach Rackley could have declined this penalty and took the football, but I like that he's taking it from a strategic standpoint. You forced them to boom another punt, and if they don't, maybe you give your guy Waddell a chance to return it and get yourself some great field position in plus territory.
And Waddell is a guy you want to give him as many chances to make plays as you can. We've seen it with their offense. They are going to him a lot. So Blevins to kick it again to the return man for the Rams. A little later to get it away that time. Waddell unable to pull it in, and somehow it's an even better punt inside the 10-yard line.
How about Blevins? That's big time by the punter. Back-to-back, oftentimes, and again, it was the right decision by Coach Rackley, but Blevins says, I'm going to make you wrong. And that's something that we were able to talk about with Coach Kennedy Tinsley. He talked about his kicker and Blevins and his ability to give them what they need in big situations. That's an example right there.
That is an incredible job after doing a great job on the previous punt and having that wiped away. From their own 9, Williams snaps it, but a flag and whistles from all around. And again, it's on the defense. Mallard Creek, it feels Reg needs to clean this up. They lead 7-0, but this is a Rolesville team that you mentioned it right out of the gates. You cannot give them free yardage.
Don't give away yardage. Whether it's Rolesville or anybody else, as explosive as Rolesville is, you don't want to give teams free yardage. Don't give them a chance to pick up a first down and get the confidence up. Got to be smarter here, more disciplined at the line of scrimmage.
Williams hands it up the middle. Trenton Presley with the carry. And he gains 6 or 7, good enough for the first down.
This is a nice quick hitting play here by Presley. Just gets upfield immediately, makes a nice gain to pick up that first down.
Sophomore Langston Pratt on the tackle for Mallard Creek. Now 1st and 10 from the 22. Williams gives again on the ground this time, and that'll go for a short gain, if any.
And look, Rolesville, they got to look at that big offensive line. They've got to use these guys to their advantage, play behind that offensive line, see if they can start to get some push, to get some rhythm with this offense.
Officially, it is a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Now Williams alone in the backfield. 3 to the far side. He goes underneath. It's a quick spin and catch. Anthony Roberts.
Number 2, Deuce Machette. Number 6, Nathaniel Snow. In on the stop.
And he's brought down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, just a quick throw over the middle. Nice job to make that catch. to end the first quarter.
That will be the end of the
So we'll flip the field. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Rams when we return, but through a quarter of action. Mallard Creek 7, Rolesville nothing on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
Of this week 1 showdown here at Mallard Creek High School.
Start of the second quarter here at Mallard Creek. A 7-0 lead for the Mavericks, but the visiting Rams with a 3rd and 2. And flags come out. And it's against the defense. So another pre-snap penalty on the Mavericks. This time it gives the Rams a first.
Yeah, they're going to get Anthony Laveau, number 99, right over the football. Look, that's right over the football. You got to see the ball and wait for it to be snapped.
Now on first down, Hacho Williams flushed out of the pocket. A step inside, tried to go back out, and is wrangled just shy of the line of scrimmage.
This Mallard Creek defensive front, they're smaller than this offensive line. They're doing an excellent job with their speed, creating problems and havoc, forcing Williams to have to get out of the pocket. Well done that time as well.
Another legendary tackle brought to you by Queen City Home Store, taking on the toughest stains at home with the toughest washers in the game. Loss of 1, it's 2nd and 11. And again, jumpiness from the defensive line of Mallard Creek.
You got to wonder what it is they're hearing down there to allow this to continue to happen.
Will give Rolesville 5 yards.
I mean, that's a handful of encroachment penalties alone. So now 2nd and 6 for the Rams. Williams, hands off. Presley around the edge. He picks up a few, so this makes it a very manageable 3rd down.
And Presley's going to limp off a little bit. Comes up lame, and here comes Amir Brown back in this ball game at that running back spot.
The University of North Carolina commit, number 2 in white, far left of your screen. He and Presley split carries for the most part, but he's not really been involved in this game. Williams tosses too high, and it's incomplete on 3rd down.
Yeah, he was looking for his tight end, Davis Brown, out in the left flat. He had it. That's a throw you've got to make. give your guy a chance, throw it a little bit behind him and a little high, and they lose an opportunity. That time, I think that would have been a first down if he's able to come down with that catch. Got to put it on his body, give him a chance to make a play, a little bit inaccurate, and it cost him an opportunity to pick up a first down there.
Deuce Majette with the coverage for Mallard Creek. So now 4th and 3rd, and Rolesville sends out the punting unit. And the punt is blocked. Picked up by Mallard Creek. Nathaniel Snow all the way to the house. Mavericks with their second touchdown.
They're able to come right up the middle, 2 guys, and there's the block, and then the pickup and to the house by Snow. Just a great job on the special teams unit. Darren, let me say this to you as well. Mallard Creek, we saw this program, the same program, same coaching staff, many of the same players last year in their opener down at Westside High School against Prince Avenue Christian. They were struggling offensively in the first half. What happens? They get a big special teams punt return and an interception return for a touchdown, and they flip the game on its head, and they come back and win that ball game. This team, Coach Kennedy Tinsley, continues to make sure that his guys are focused and locked in and prepared to make plays in all 3 phases of a football game.
Blevins good on the extra point. It's 14-0. Mallard Creek with a 2-score lead in the second quarter.
That is huge. You get something like that. Your defense is playing well. Now you've got a 2-touchdown lead. You got to feel extremely confident right now if you're Mallard Creek. Your defense is playing well, as I mentioned. Offensively, you've been able to hit a couple of big plays. Receivers are breaking tackles. Now you get a special teams touchdown. That sideline's got to feel really good right now. And then on the other side of things, if you're Coach Rackley, you got to get your guys settled down. You got to get them to execute properly. We've seen some busts in the coverage on defense, and then that time you see a major mistake, letting somebody come right up the middle on a punting situation. Can't allow it to happen.
Blevins sets up for this kickoff, powered by Queen City Home Store, where you're always home. We've seen it. You referenced past versions of this Mallard Creek football program. We've seen it year in and year out. Look, I mean, it's a team that is good enough that we see them a lot on this game of the week.
Absolutely.
They're always coming up with special teams defensive touchdowns.
Absolutely. And look, when you can put points on the board with your offense on the sideline, it's major. And this is now listen, let me clarify here. This is a Rolesville team that can make some plays and are very, very explosive. And now you get an offsides on the kickoff here. I think they're going to get number 28, Timothy Muhammad. He stepped across or past the 40-yard line there. Watch him right here, number 28. They're going to run up, and he steps over the 40-yard line. That's going to be the penalty right there.
That's a good catch because the deke, the step up is allowed. You just cannot cross that plane.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Cost them 5 yards that time. Field position positive if you're Rolesville.
So now the kick from the 35. Blevins boots it away. This one's for sure returnable for Kalen Johnson. Centers himself up. Jukes away from one man. Can't escape the second, and he's down at the 20 or 21-yard line.
Talking to Coach Rackley from Rolesville, one of the things I asked him is I said, what do you need to figure out about your team? What is going to be the key thing for your football team? You lost in a state championship game last year. What's been the message the entire offseason? He said, respond. We have to respond and fight through adversity. This is about as much as adversity as they've seen in a long time as a football team. How do they respond in this game? That's going to tell a lot about his program. I guarantee you that was his message.
Man in motion is Amir Brown for the Rams. As soon as he gets it, he's ripped down to the ground. Matthew Harris, who was just on the training table prior to that snap on the sideline, back in and making an impact.
Big time play there. And again, the penetration. This Mallard Creek defense is playing on the Rolesville side of the football throughout this game. And that's been the key for them here in this first half.
Big loss. Now Williams airs it behind his intended man, well behind Gavin Waddell, incomplete.
Not on the same page there. You had Waddell on the inside. You had Cameron Bryant on the outside. Kind of just threw it to nowhere. Nobody in the vicinity. Just not on the same page.
Now 3rd and 15 for Rolesville. This is their longest third down they've had so far. 1 for 3 on thirds so far in this game. Williams hands it. Brown spins, but his leg was wrapped up, so he's brought down. It's a gain of 6 just past the initial line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th and 9.
And Brown's a little slow getting off the field. We saw Presley, number 3, the other running back, go off earlier in the game, a little bit lame. So something to keep an eye on with these two backs. That's a big key to their offense, the ability to run the football. Haven't really gotten untracked yet in this game.
Riley Daniels to punt it away.
Kelly and Redmond back to receive the kick. There's the
Kelly with lots of room to return. Streaking to the near sideline. Inside the 30 and banged out of bounds near the 25.
How about Kelly? Nice recognition. Understood that wall was built to his left side. Gets to the sideline. What I love, that ball's in the left hand. It's on the outside just in case it gets knocked free. Excellent field position off the return.
Another speed check brought to you by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet, home of the Silverado guys. Visit FredCaldwellChevy.com. Kelly, a fine candidate for that. He runs a 4.340, a 10-time state championship winner as a track competitor. Now Cheeseboro hands off. Mallard Creek. Xavier Edmond end zone. A 22-yard dart for the 3rd score of the game for the Mavericks.
This is just well executed. It's nothing crazy. A little bit of a G scheme. They bring number 58, the right guard, around. He leads up inside, and it's easy pickings to the house for a touchdown. That's well executed by this offense. Nice run and excellent block by Cook.
And the 2-point conversion successful. Deuce Majette reaches and puts it in.
A little bit of a kind of muddle huddle look there. Swinging gait, whatever you want to call it. Just take the snap, nice little pitch. They got blocking to the left side, and it's a walk-in. And all of a sudden, 22-0. Mallard Creek feeling really good, playing really well. All 3 phases of the game clicking. Think about this. You've got a rushing touchdown. You got a big play passing touchdown. You got a special teams touchdown. But this rushing touchdown came off of a big special teams punt return, and you get a 2-point conversion. So right now, and you're pitching a shutout defensively. All phases right now working well for Mallard Creek on the Rolesville side of things. They're over there feeling like, and this is one of the tough things for coaches, is they're trying to just find something to get a little bit of a rhythm to get the guys going. They know the talent is there. They know they have the playmakers. They just haven't quite gotten a rhythm going offensively, and a lot of that has to do with what Mallard Creek's doing defensively.
Another kickoff for Mallard Creek after yet another score. This kickoff powered by Queen City Home Store, where you're always home. Mavericks have made this interesting, maybe not in ways that we initially thought it would be. Mavericks rock back and forth, and Blevins sends the kick away to an up man, and it's down at the 23-yard line.
Nice job there by Malachi Harris, recognizing, hey, I'm a big D lineman. Let me just fair catch this thing and give this ball to my offense.
You can imagine why he is positioned there on kickoff returns, right? But catching and running with it is not the reason.
It's not part of it. Absolutely correct.
Honcho Williams and Amir Brown in the backfield for Rolesville, looking for an answer of some kind. Williams to his right, finds his man, Henry Evans, on the quick catch, and a gain of 6. Make it a gain of 5. Marker comes back by a yard. So 2nd and 5 coming. Williams to his left this time. Catch made by Roberts, and he's wrangled out of bounds. Chase Spellman on the defense. And a flag came out on the tail end of this.
Yeah, quick throw. It might be a late hit on the quarterback. I thought it was okay, but that might be what the call is here.
That is, in fact, the case, roughing the passer.
I can tell you right now, if you're the coach offensively that gets that call, you love it. If you're the coach defensively, you don't like that call because it was pretty close. That's a big hit on a quarterback that's somewhat, right, defenseless, just gotten rid of the football. But those are the kind of hits defensive linemen look for on the quarterback. It was really close, bang-bang play there, but that's going to cost the Mavericks 15 yards.
So it is an automatic first down for Rolesville, another Body Works Plus first down. Creeping down toward 8 minutes remaining in the first half. This is about as far into plus territory as the Rams have been this game so far.
Got to find a way to capitalize here, stay in this ball game.
From the Mallard Creek 41, floated pass out of bounds, was intended again for Evans.
If you're Rolesville, you obviously don't love the incompletion there, but what you did see was better protection by the offensive line. They held up pretty well on that particular play. Something to keep an eye on. They really struggled, especially in that first quarter with their pass protection. A little bit better that time.
Brown the back behind him. Williams to pass it again. Underthrows Waddell.
Yes, a little bit behind him as well. Waddell kind of working to the inside, little slant route or short end. Just a little bit behind him. Got to put that in front of him. Give him a chance to catch it and get upfield.
Now it's a 3rd and 10 for Rolesville. They're just 1 for 4 on third downs. That's excluding one given to them by a Mallard Creek penalty. Williams up the middle, and it's broken up. Exceptional play by Deuce Majette, who's been in on the action anytime the ball's been in the air.
Yeah, that's about as good a job as you can do with that kind of coverage. He's outside at the top of your screen, works to the inside against that in route, keeps that left hand behind the receiver, and comes down across the football with the right hand. Excellent technique. That's how you knock the football away.
Smothering Roberts, who is a great receiver for the Rams. And as much as we say that, until they make plays tonight, Mallard Creek is really stifling anything that the Rams can cook up. Daniels the punt. Spellman catches. Will reverse field. Cuts back toward the right side. And is bottled up shy of the 20-yard line.
It's actually a really nice play there by Spellman. I was getting ready to say, don't catch that, and he made it work.
Seven and a half to play in the first half. Mallard Creek up big, looking to extend the lead. Man in motion is Abdul Ali. And Cheeseborough takes it himself to the 20. Gain of a couple.
Jaden Brody helmet came off, so he had to go off there for Rolesville. Rams right now, they need something big to happen, and if you're Mallard Creek, stay confident, continue to execute. Just worry about moving the chains on a consistent basis.
And whistles. Before the snap, after the motion for Mallard Creek. Maybe a few too many gadgets there.
Yeah, a lot going on. Didn't get set. Cost them that time.
That'll back them up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 12. And a timeout called by Mallard Creek with 6.5 to play in the second quarter. Very deliberately they're trying to milk some clock. But it looked to me, Reg, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe that was leading to a little bit of clunkiness that the coaching staff probably wants to fix up?
Yeah, I think that was a situation. They weren't really sure what they wanted to do. Maybe a little bit kind of not on the same page of what they wanted to run there. And just, you know what, let's take a timeout. We're backed up in our own end. And they got to get it worked out. In a situation like that, the big thing is you don't want to be so misaligned that you maybe turn the football over deep in your own end. You don't want to give away anything cheap here.
Obviously, the score is the score. Does it matter if you end up sending Rolesville into the locker room for halftime with a 0 on the board? Does that matter more than, you give something away and they get 3?
Yeah, it does. I mean, that 0 can impact confidence.
Play fake. Cheeseborough airs it out, and it's caught near midfield. Devin Dukes, the junior wide out.
Little tendency breaker that time. I love it. You move your right-handed quarterback to the left off a little play action, and then look at him just put it up over the top. Behind the defense is Dukes, and they get another big play.
The spot is exactly at the 50-yard line. And a penalty called against Reedsville. Or Rolesville, excuse me. So now Dukes' catch and then run to the 50-yard line improves by 15 yards. First and 10 from the 35. The complexion here changed in a hurry. Cheeseborough hands it off. Edmond up the middle between the hashes inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and I think what's most telling about that particular play, watch where the contact starts and watch where he ends up on the ground. He gets another 3.5, 4 yards. You don't see that often against this Rolesville defense.
After the gain of 7, they give it to him again. He spins away, continues forward, got the first down and then some. Inside the 15, but it might come back. What did you see there, Reg?
It looked like as he broke free, might have been a hold on the outside there. Sometimes that's tough. You think a guy's going down, and all of a sudden, here comes an extra defender flying by you, and you just reach out and grab him out of instinct.
So it is, in fact, holding. Mallard Creek at the 32-yard line for 2nd down and 7. They spread them out and a jump on the offensive line. Consecutive penalties for the Mavericks.
Yeah, this drive had been so promising. It made a couple of plays and gotten some great field position. A couple of penalties, giving it back.
Now 2nd and 12. Kelly in motion. Cheeseborough gives him on a screen, and it's dropped. So they tried to stack Kelly and Price on that same side and use that to their advantage. Instead, now 3rd and 12.
Yeah, this is a big 3rd down right here. Last thing you want to do is potentially give Rolesville the football here with 4 minutes or so left, and they can put some points on the board, get some momentum going to half. Big spot here. Ideally, you pick up the 1st down if you're the Mavericks. Worst case scenario, you punt this football.
It's an end around. Kelly, the speedster, dragged down from behind, and the flag comes flying in.
But there was a flag right before that. I think there's going to be a hold and that personal foul face mask. I think these are going to offset, and they're going to replay this 3rd down here. You'll see it. Watch him come around the outside to the left here towards the bottom of your screen. You're going to see right there to the left of your screen, right before the hit, you see that maybe that's a block in the back, but you saw something there. A flag came out there, and then you saw the flag for the big hit later. I think these may end up being offsetting penalties here.
And you saw some signals that might indicate as much. Deliberation between our officials. David Hargett is the referee, the umpire Greg Brooks, Carl Logan, John Jones, John Doherty, Jonathan Grice, and Ronald Stafford. Play clock and game clock officials.
Yeah, they're talking to both coaches here. Coach Rackley's pointing as if he wants to accept something that backs Mallard Creek up, or maybe it was before the snap and a false start potentially. Our great crew might have a replay for us here to take a look at that. There it is, the illegal shift.
That's declined.
Block in the back. That's what we saw.
And so, yeah, so it'll be 3rd down again. Okay, so here we go.
And so here's the illegal shift right here to the outside, right there. It's 2 guys moving. So that's your illegal shift. And then here comes the block in the back to your left right there. And then there was no penalty. They're saying that Malachi, that's defensive lineman there, Malachi Harris, I'm sorry. They're saying his play was just grabbing the jersey, not the helmet.
Yep.
So there was no penalty there on the defense.
So now it's back to their own 43, or to the plus 43, and a sack. Cheeseborough had virtually no time. Malachi Harris again wreaking havoc.
Yeah, Harris does an excellent job getting in the backfield. He's got to be careful here, because the one thing to pay attention to, watch his right hand. He gets up into the helmet. It doesn't end up becoming a penalty, but he's up into the helmet, and he's able to get the sack there.
So Mallard Creek forced to punt it away. Darion Newborn back to receive it for Rolesville. They let it bounce. And it's down at the 15, which is where Rolesville will assume possession, down 22 to Mallard Creek. Just over 4 minutes to play in the first half of the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week on WCCB's MeTV with Reggie Walker. I'm Darren Vaught. 22-0 the lead for Mallard Creek. Just over 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. Rolesville takes possession at their own 15. And keep in mind, Reg, Rolesville will receive the kickoff that opens up the second half at the beginning of the third quarter as well.
Yeah, middle eight, very key. Last 4 minutes of the second quarter, first 4 minutes of the third quarter.
Williams pursued. It's an intentional screen to Brown, who's ripped down to the ground at the 10-yard line. Asika Mustafa on the tackle.
Yeah, I think part of that play, Anthony Laveau, I think he got a piece of Brown as Brown tried to get free there, slowed the timing of that down, didn't allow Brown to get out in space and create anything.
Clock continues to run on Rolesville. Assumedly, they're going to try to go quickly and make their way up the field. Honcho Williams, time in the pocket, airs it out, and it drops incomplete. No, it is caught by Waddell. Wow,
Waddell
came back to get it.
Well, he fell down.
Yeah.
And somehow he was able to make a grab. That is big time over there.
Holy cow. Gavin Waddell, who has been targeted a lot and is an incredible player for the Rams. You couldn't see him even for the players standing on the Mallard Creek sideline.
That is big time. That's a catch and a half right there.
Big first down up to the 27-yard line. Here's Williams. Rolling to his left, brought down from behind. That time, T.J. Bryant making the play.
Yeah, this is we talked about it at the top. This defense is too fast. Both defenses, really. But this defense in particular, showing it throughout this game. They're too fast for these quarterbacks to get outside the pocket and really do something big time with their feet. Williams is pretty athletic, but this is a very fast Mavericks defense.
It backs up the Rams by 7 yards. 2nd and long. Williams escapes trouble, takes it himself, spins from a tackle to the 30-yard line. It bounces free, but whistles before that. I think they're ruling it down.
Can you hear me out there?
Yeah, it's a nice job escaping the pocket to the left. Nice little spin move. Yeah, it looks like that's close, but it looks like he's down. And not by much. Not a lot of instant replay, obviously, in high school football either.
It was brought down on top of the defender, Josiah Peters. This is now 3rd and 8.
This is a big 3rd down right here.
Rolesville 1 for 5 on thirds so far in this game. Williams drops back. Pressure, flags out. Williams runs himself and boulders to the sideline. Deuce Majette, number 2 for Mallard Creek, took the brunt of that.
Yeah, the issue right now is this Rolesville offensive line. They have no answer for the front 7 of Mallard Creek right now. They just don't have an answer. Williams has been under pressure, under duress, essentially from the first snap of this ballgame.
All right, so a holding on the offense and then one on the defense. So they will offset. And we'll replay 3rd down.
Yeah, the holding defensively likely in the secondary. And how about that? Williams and Majette with a meeting, if you will, at the sideline.
All right, so we'll redo the 3rd and 8 here. Williams, congested pocket, rips a pass over to the sideline, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, Chase Spellman once again. He has been an absolute lockdown defender throughout this game. He's done a really nice job against a couple of really, really good receivers from Rolesville. Spellman's been right in their hip pocket on a consistent basis throughout this ball game, making it difficult for them to make catches.
Yeah, that time the targeted receiver was Roberts. So another unsuccessful 3rd down for the Rams. They'll have to punt it away with 1:26 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Riley Daniels punts it away, nearly blocked again by the Mavericks. Edmond bobbles it, picks it up, and takes off with the return. There he goes to midfield and out of bounds just beyond where a flag came out right around the play.
Once again, a big return. The special teams game. Look, that's the 2nd time in this game on a return situation. There's been a little bit of a dribble forward, if you will.
It's been Edmond both times.
Absolutely.
He's just given himself a head start.
Absolutely. This one might come back, though. It looks like it might be a hold on the Mavericks here.
And that is, in fact, the case. A hold on the return team. We'll bring it back. Edmond had gotten it into plus territory for the Mavericks. That won't be the case.
I would suspect Mallard Creek, they might look to bleed some of this clock here. There's a chance they'll take a shot but likely going to look to potentially just get into the half with a 22-0 lead.
So now they start the drive at their own 42. Sam Cheeseborough, designed run, right back up the middle. Couple of helmets have popped off in the meantime. Cheeseborough never brought down from his feet. But a stoppage of forward motion after a positive gain of about 4 yards.
We haven't had to talk about it a lot in this game because Cheeseborough's played so well. Remember, he didn't start the game at quarterback. This game was started by Perry Justice, who got hurt very early on, and Cheeseborough's come in and acquitted himself very well, being accurate with the football, making good decisions, and then using his feet at times as well.
Cheeseborough, after the play fake, airs it deep down the sideline. It's bobbled. Khalil Price could not squeeze it. Kalen Johnson with the coverage. We're seeing some good battles on the outsides there.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. These receivers have made some plays, but both teams, these corners are really good football players. They stay in phase well. They don't panic when the football goes up in the air, and then they play the football through the receiver's hands, and they stay after it until the play is over. They don't give up. They don't panic. This is really, really good cornerback play on both sides.
3rd and 6 for the Mavericks. This is their 8th third down they will attempt for the game. Reggie, what if I told you this was the shortest third down they've attempted for the game?
I would tell you they're likely going to pick it up then.
They're 3 for 7 on thirds so far. Men in motion, Abdul Ali and Kelly here on the outside. But it's a handoff. Josh Person to the outside, lowers his shoulder and is brought down.
Again, very difficult against both of these defenses to get to the outside and run it wide. And if I'm Mallard Creek here looking at the play clock versus the game clock, I'm going to half. I'm not snapping this football. I'm not punting. That's a smart timeout that time by Coach Rackley in Rolesville. I'm going to force your special teams unit to come out on this field and do something. That's a good timeout.
So it forces a final play of the half.
At least one more.
At least. Stopping the clock at 25 seconds.
I think Coach Rackley's thinking if we can get a nice return and then we can get some protection, maybe we can hit a deep shot and get some points late in the half, right at the end of the half here, and see if we can get a little momentum going into halftime. Because, again, they get the ball to start the third quarter. You get a couple of scores, all of a sudden you're back in this football game. And remember, he's also, from that standpoint, kicking-wise, they've got a kicker in Riley Daniels that they trust him up to about 50 yards. So I think that's in the back of Coach Rackley's mind as well. If they can get into plus territory, he's going to give his guy a chance to kick a field goal late.
You might have noticed, top right of your screen, some time has been added to the game clock. 29 seconds until half.
If you're the Mavericks, got to stay disciplined, stay in your lanes. You cannot give up a big return here.
Ashton Blevins kicks it away, bouncing inside the 15-yard line.
Oh, no, you can't touch it that quickly. You got to let it continue to roll for a bit. Got to have the awareness there as a special teamer. Surround the football and let it continue to roll. See if you can steal an extra couple of seconds off of that clock.
At least the couple of seconds it would take the official if it does come to a complete stop.
Absolutely,
right?
to decide to blow the whistle.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Maverick defense looks to keep it at 0 going into the
So now 20 seconds on the clock for Rolesville. Again, they will receive the kick to open the third quarter and the second half, but a long field in front of them.
Yeah, with a triple safety look over the top here. Going to be difficult to get something big down the field. Probably going to have to throw it short and hope somebody can break some tackles.
1st and 10 from the 13. They'll run it with Amir Brown. He shakes a couple of men, jets toward the tackle, and gains a few.
think Coach Rackley is content. I shouldn't say content. He's going to accept that he's not happy with this first half and head to the locker room.
Well, that was an emphatic start to the season for Mallard Creek. We're midway through, 22-0. Mavericks on top of the Rams of Rolesville on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. We thank you for watching the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week on WCCB's Me TV. It's halftime, and tonight's game is brought to you by Queen City Home Store, your whole home destination. By North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Vaccines for Kids program. Go to vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. By Body Works Plus, Charlotte's certified collision repair center. And by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet, home of the Silverado guys. Visit fredcaldwellchevy.com.
My name is Sincere Daye. I am an incoming junior at West Charlotte High School.
Sincere is a very good kid, very quiet, kind of laid back child. But once he gets around people, he get comfortable, he kind of shows his personality.
I started football when I was 10 years old. I knew right away I was a dog. And I used to go in the backyard and play with my friends, and it was like no pads. So from then, I knew I loved football. I knew I loved the game. And my dad had asked me, "You want to play football?" And of course, it was no hesitation in the answer.
You think you're on the one kickoff first? Sincere's unbelievable special talent, first of all. He started for us as a freshman 2 years ago.
He came in, the coaches gave him an opportunity throughout the time with the, with the coaching, with the culture that the coaches created. I think that he started to believe in himself a little bit more. So the first thing we noticed was he was coming for summer workouts or whatever, and he just couldn't gain weight. So when we took him to the doctor, they said he burst his appendix.
It was like somebody just stabbing in my stomach. They found out that my appendix was inflamed, and they went in and had an emergency surgery right there at that moment. After the surgery, a couple months later, I still wasn't healing, and they knew something was wrong. And I went back to the doctor, and I found out I had Crohn's disease.
He was devastated. His emotions, his body language, his whole disposition was just, defeated.
They told me that it's something that basically attacks your intestines, and it's I wouldn't say it's uncurable, but they just haven't found a cure yet. And there's medicine to fix it, but it will never actually go away. And during that period, I lost about 40 pounds, went down to 115. I was feeling discouraged. I was just so down on myself. It was like I was depressed almost. Over the next few months, I had about 4 surgeries. I found out that I was gonna have to sit out my whole sophomore year, and I just broke down and cried. I cried so much. My mom cried with me.
I could see that he wasn't confident. I could see that he didn't look the part. It was super emotional because I know this is something that he loves to do. This is something that he enjoys doing. So to see that, taken away from him, it was extremely hurtful.
I tell you what, he never missed a beat in the aspect of last season. We won a state championship, and he was with us every day.
After my last surgery, I got out, and me and my dad said we're gonna focus on this recovery. This is what our minds were set on the recovery, and we worked every single day.
And in this off season, he got to be over 170 pounds, dedicated himself to the weight room again, and he picked up some scholarships in the spring.
And slowly, my coaches started to notice I was gaining weight. They started to tell me, "You're looking kind of big." It was like the whole process, I kept going up, kept getting stronger, and they just started to notice, and slowly I was back on the field, starting on varsity again.
It just shows the dedication, the ability he has to overcome adversity. Even though he was knocked down, he got back up, and that's what we're always about.
It brings a complete, joy to me. Sometimes I come out here and watch him practice. It makes me want to cry. I actually did shed a tear when he received his first college offer.
Here we are today, out here back playing with my brothers, and I'm getting recruited by college coaches. That's the dream. That's the dream I always had since I was a little kid, and I'm finally living it out. That's the dream that helped me get through.
We are the West Charlotte Lions, and he has the heart of a lion.
Sincere, I just want to tell you that I love you, your mom loves you, your brothers and sisters love you, your whole family loves you, and we're super proud of you, and we can't wait for August 22nd to see you put everything on display.
I am Sincere Daye. This is my Varsity Spotlight.
It's halftime here at Mallard Creek. You're watching the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week on WCCB's Me TV. Stay tuned. Here shortly we'll have highlights from the first half and the resumption of play with the beginning of the second half on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Just about time to get the second half started here at Mallard Creek, where the hosting Mavericks hold a huge 22-0 lead through one half of action. With Reggie Walker, I'm Darren Vaught. Reggie, let's take a look at how it transpired in that first half, a statement of a first half for the Mavericks.
Yeah, big situation here on, I believe it was a fourth down. They get the big play down the middle and get Khalil Price for the touchdown, and away they go. Price, very difficult to deal with for this Rolesville defense throughout much of the first half, breaking tackles, making contested catches.
Sam Cheeseborough, the operator of the offense after starter Perry Justice went down due to injury, and he has shined for Mallard Creek. And a couple of special teams plays in particular really helping their case and making up for some penalties along the way.
Yeah, you see the block punt right here, return for a touchdown, get right up the middle for the pressure, and you're able to put 6 on the board. They ended up going for 2 there, put 2 more on the board. And then here, nice run off the left side, little outside zone, easy pickings for a touchdown, and they were rolling. I should say this is the 2-point conversion. It was off of that. Right here, a little muddle huddle swinging gate formation and a walk-in that time.
Deuce Majette with the punctuation and the 2-point conversion following Xavier Edmonds' 22-yard touchdown run. Nathaniel Snow was who scooped up the punt block, took it to the house for the touchdown. And then again, the 31-yard connection between Cheeseborough, just Cheese as they call him, and Khalil Price, the star receiver for Mallard Creek. This is a star-studded Rolesville team. I mean, we came into this with, I think, the proper anticipation, something like a top 10 matchup in the state of North Carolina.
Yeah.
What's it going to take for the Rams to get back into this thing? They do receive the kick to start the third quarter.
They've got to get more sustained blocking out of the offensive line. When you've got talent in the backfield and a guy like Amir Brown or a Presley, you've got to get those guys opportunities to get going. When you've got players on the outside that can make plays for you, like a tight end in Davis Brown, and A.J. Anthony Roberts, Gavin Waddell. Those are playmakers, but the offensive line has not allowed a lot of time for Caleb Honcho Williams to be able to get those skilled players the football in space to create and make some big plays.
Mallard Creek with the deke of a kickoff, and then the short kick, it'll go out of bounds, penalty flag out, and this will thus be good starting field position for Rolesville.
Yeah, I don't love that, and I'm sure Kennedy Tinsley doesn't love it either. You start by kicking the ball out of bounds and giving an offense that really struggled in the first half. And I don't have to say it any cleaner than that. They got 0 points on the board, didn't really sustain a drive. You give them good field position to start this third quarter. Don't love that to start this third quarter if you're the Mavericks. But the way this defense has been playing, maybe Coach Tinsley says, hey, I don't want to give them a chance to get a big return to set it off. As you see there, Amir Brown, look at that. This is a guy last season, just 93 carries, but he was explosive throughout.
And a flag right away, another encroachment call on Mallard Creek. That's after 5 of those were committed in the first half. So, again, we talk about the shutout by their defense to this point. That has been in spite of
the penalties,
of boneheaded penalties,
yes.
pre-snap stuff.
Absolutely correct. Got to get that under control.
Now 1st and 5, up to the 40-yard line already without a single play being run. Amir Brown to the outside, spins off of a tackler, and he's brought down by a couple more just shy of midfield. Good for a first down.
Yeah, and I think now the idea is going to be, can we get to the edge? Haven't had a lot of success in the middle. Got to get to the edge.
It's another Bodyworks plus first down, Charlotte's Certified Collision Repair Center.
And getting to the edge, not going to be easy consistently against this defense with all the speed they have.
Williams gives again. Amir Brown on the carry. Positive yardage, medium gain right at 5 yards. And again, UNC commit, you saw the numbers from a season ago. He and Trenton Presley make up this threatening run game for the Rams.
And oftentimes last season they also had some bigger leads, and they had depth in the backfield that they don't quite have this season as well.
2nd and 5, Brown again, nowhere to go, and is brought down in the backfield. Matt Harris had him from behind and sort of ran him into the defensive line.
Majette on the tackle, number 0, Matthew Harris.
Yeah, it looked like they maybe were starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm with that running game, and then all of a sudden they get shut down on that particular play.
3rd and 8 for Rolesville. They were 1 for 6 on thirds in the first half. Williams sends it to his left. It's caught by Roberts. And he steps out of bounds, but they got the first down.
1st and 10.
You see right now the offensive line doing a little bit better of a job, and now they're able to get some of these skill guys opportunities to make some plays. This drive looks much better than this offense did at all in the first half. The question is, will they be able to finish this drive, or will this Mavericks defense once again bow up? I think that's going to be, is that a false start? Oh, it's going to be
another encroachment on Mallard Creek. Second of the half already.
Third penalty in a minute 13 seconds. Remember, the kickoff was out of bounds. That's an automatic procedure penalty.
These encroachments are 5 yards at a time. The illegal procedure there
created great starting field position.
Yeah. Williams dumps it to Gavin Waddell. He's wrapped up immediately and brought down Nathaniel Snow, who returned the punt block for a touchdown in the first half.
And getting back to the penalty aspect of it, when they happen on first down, you're setting up 1st and 5. So now they've got multiple plays to pick up the 5. They can do some dink and dunk stuff, take some shorter throws, and still feel confident about 2nd and 3rd down. Right now you're sitting at a 2nd and 2.5, 3 here.
Rams haven't had to do much, but they're already at the 29-yard line of Mallard Creek. 2nd and 2. Williams to throw over the middle, deep pass, it's caught and into the end zone for a Rams touchdown. A.J. Roberts on the receiving end.
We told you this offense could make some plays. The offensive line playing a little bit better here in the second half, and he puts it out there, and Roberts, nice job in traffic, makes a nice catch, and that's a touchdown, and all of a sudden you see a little bit more confidence on that Rams sideline. That's a big, big play for Rolesville right there. Big drive, less than 2 minutes, and they're able to put 6 on the board.
Aided by a few Mallard Creek penalties.
And remember, we talked about that middle 8. It was nothing in the last 4. Now all of a sudden, a minute 56 in, it's 6-0 Rolesville.
Riley Daniels puts the extra point through after the first score of the night for Rolesville.
Penalty against Rolesville.
And a little bit of a holdup because of a flag. So we'll see what this is.
Takes that extra point off the board.
Following the extra point, which may have to be redone. Yeah, it's a hold against the Rams.
Holding against the Rams.
That's unfortunate as well. If you're the Rams, you're talking about having to play clean to get back in this football game.
It also turns this extra point into a 30-yard kick for Daniels. He's capable, but it is a little bit higher degree of difficulty.
Leg not the issue.
No.
Sometimes, we're talking about high school football, sometimes the operation, snap, hold, you got to, some coaches get a little nervous.
Yeah, a lot of pieces. Lot of pieces, independent even of a kicker. But the extra point on the second try, good. Now it's a 15-point game. Mallard Creek still ahead, and they'll get it back. This upcoming kickoff powered by Queen City Home Store, where you're always home.
Darren, I think the other thing important about this is understanding clock and score situations. It's early third quarter there, 22-7. You don't have to chase that 2-point conversion yet. I think, to me, if I'm coaching and I'm trailing in this situation, I don't worry about that until the fourth quarter, because I feel like if I can score 2 or 3 more touchdowns, I'm up 28-22 anyway. So I think something to keep an eye on as we move through this third quarter here.
Mason Kelly, Chase Spellman back deep to receive the kick for Mallard Creek. As it goes in the end zone, neither able to do so. A touchback. And on to their first offensive possession of the second half.
And the conversation right now on that Rams sideline is we need a quick 3-and-out and get the football back. If you can do that, get a little momentum, start to feel really, really good early in this third quarter. They need a big, big defensive play on this first down play. And if you're Mallard Creek, you want to execute, get something positive, pick up a couple of first downs here, and don't start to allow the confidence to increase for this Rams football team.
So Mallard Creek back to the field. It is, in fact, Sam Cheeseborough, the quarterback, who came in place of the starter, Perry Justice, for injury early in the first half. Cheeseborough low on the throw in the flats to Xavier Edmond.
I should make this point as well about Cheeseborough being in there at quarterback. You mentioned Perry Justice not being in there because of the injury. Perry Justice also the free safety for this defense, who pitched a shutout in the first half without their guy in the back end of that defense. That is a big-time performance by this Mavericks defense.
2nd and 10, still Cheeseborough joined by Edmond in the backfield. And it's a handoff. Xavier Edmond just past the line of scrimmage and then is bullied after a gain of a yard.
Short game. 3rd down for the Mavs.
This is the play right here. If you're Coach Rackley, you're challenging your defensive front. All the talent you have up front, you got Division I prospects all over that front 7. You're challenging these guys right now to go make you a play and get you the football back early in this 3rd quarter. It'd be potentially great field position as well.
3rd and 8. Mavericks were 3 for 8 on thirds in the first half. Cheeseborough over the middle, and it's dropped. There is a flag, as you see bottom of your screen.
Number 15, Devin Dukes.
Devin Dukes was the intended target, lost his helmet.
I think they're going to call a personal foul here. And Coach Rainier Rackley might lose his mind on this call.
Still awaiting the ruling. And it is a personal foul on the defense. And it's a 1st down for Mallard Creek.
That is a big, big call right there. Defender trying to go make a hit on an incompletion. Picks up a personal foul. That's a big penalty on a 3rd down.
1st and 10. Cheeseborough quickly gets rid of it, and it's incomplete.
Incomplete.
I was looking for Tylen McClain near the sideline.
Intended for number 88, Tylen McClain.
Xavion Griffin-Haynes on that particular play got some penetration. He's starting to get revved up a little bit. Helmet came off right there, had to come off the field, so he won't be out there on this next snap. Tar Heel commit. He and his brother, Jaden Griffin-Haynes.
Jaden, number 0 there, front and center on the right edge of the defense. Edmond scoots up the middle and gets to about the 45-yard line.
And how about that for a call? They come with an edge blitz. You called it out with Jaden Griffin-Haynes. He comes off the edge, number 0. They run right up inside. They have the numbers. Watch him right there. Oh, it's a quick run right there. Trying to get the 1st down on 3rd down, and I'm not sure they got there.
Mallard Creek was trying to surprise the defense with a run by Edmond. Unsuccessful conversion on 3rd and 3, so now it's 4th and a yard to go. And Mallard Creek appears to be sending out the punt unit.
Yeah, but look at this formation. A fake punt could be in order here. If the Rams don't get lined up properly when they go to a standard formation here.
Spellman and Abdul Ali, the lead blockers there. It is, in fact, a punt by Blevins. Gavin Waddell dropped back, but unable to pick it up. Mallard Creek downs it just past the 15.
And this has been good coverage on the punting unit. Waddell never really has had a chance tonight to catch one of these on the fly with anything there. The one time he had an opportunity in the first half, he had to fair catch it because of the coverage. They re-kicked that time.
And it was even better.
And he wasn't able to touch it at all.
That's another thing. They've got the special teams touchdown, but the punting from Blevins tonight
absolutely
has been crucial.
He's been spectacular in this ballgame.
Rolesville takes over from their own 16-yard line. Caleb Williams runs it himself, pass to the 20.
Brought down
medium gain on first.
by number 20, Adam Everett, on the stop.
Just up inside, trying to just get something positive.
2nd and 4 for Rolesville.
For this offense.
Josiah Peters with the tackle for Mallard Creek. Williams slings it out to Waddell. He's wrapped up immediately by Victor Collier, but it does get the first down. Another Body Works plus first down, Charlotte's Certified Collision Repair Center.
I'm going to tell you right now, speaking of collision repairs, these DBs are creating a lot of collisions because they are step for step with these wide receivers. That is really good coverage. Gave up the first down, but excellent coverage.
1st and 10, Rolesville at their own 31. Williams, plenty of time, shuttles it Waddell's way again, and he tiptoes inbound. That's good for the catch right at the first down marker.
How good is he? How about this catch, huh? Works up the field, little comeback route. Great job by the quarterback, throwing it to the outside, giving him an opportunity, drags that right foot, and picks up the first down.
Moves the sticks, gain of exactly 10, so now it's at the 41. Rolesville looks a lot more prepared offensively so far in this second.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a rhythm to it. The offensive line's doing a better job holding at the point of attack and giving their quarterback a chance to make some plays.
More blocking for Williams. He's chased from behind. Harris scurried him away from the pocket, and it's a slide on the run after a gain of 3.
Number 45, Jeremiah Mobley.
Call it 4. They spotted at the 45.
Mustafa, in on the stop.
Rolesville was looking for maybe a personal foul there. Felt like with the slide there that there shouldn't have been any contact on Williams. Obviously to no avail.
Second and 6. We've seen Williams drop back a lot. Maybe this is a chance for Brown to get a touch. Williams to throw again. And again finds Gavin Waddell at midfield, but he's tripped up shy of the first down marker.
I thought if he would have just turned up the field to his right side, I thought he would have picked up the first down. Instead, tries to work back to the inside and gives up what I thought would have been first down yardage. Watch him here. If he goes right to the outside, I think it's a first down. Instead, he gives up ground and gives back first down, potential first down yardage.
Still just 3rd and 1 to go for Rolesville. So maybe a roll of the dice, right? Confident that maybe you could get it on 3rd and 1. And it's a handoff. Amir Brown to the 40 inside the 40-yard line. A quick burst of speed for the Rams back. Speed check brought to you by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet, home of the Silverado guys. Visit fredcaldwellchevy.com. Another first down for Rolesville. They are rolling to the outside. Roberts catches at the 30, shakes a couple of tackles, a stiff arm, and he's out of bounds at the 21.
This is what I was talking about with Waddell and Roberts. You give these guys enough opportunities, they start making life really difficult on these DBs. Look at Roberts right there. 3 different guys getting a piece of him, but he's able to break a couple of tackles and pick up first down yardage, get his team down inside or right to the red zone.
Movement on the defensive line, but no call. Williams hands it to Brown, bounces to the outside of the short side of the field, a gain of a couple to get them inside the 20. And now we're in the Vaccines for Kids red zone.
This is a huge drive right here. Just under 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. If you're Rolesville, you're thinking, let's punch it in, get a touchdown here, get into this fourth quarter with a one-score game.
Williams throwing again, up the middle, catch, touchdown, Henry Evans that time. The second passing score of the quarter for Honcho Williams.
Waddell and Roberts started making plays, so what do? You spread out the secondary, then you get your backup tight end, number 12, Henry Evans, the sophomore, 6'2", about 210, 215 pounds, just works a little seam right route right inside of a defender, gives his numbers back, walk-in touchdown.
Daniels for the extra points, and it is true and through to make it an 8-point game. 4:37 remaining in the third quarter. Consecutive scores for Rolesville. Mallard Creek leads, though, 22-14 on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
Give it up, Mallard Creek Varsity cheerleaders.
Consecutive touchdowns for Rolesville to pull it within 8 points and a singular score here at Mallard Creek. And they'll kick it off to the Mavericks. Kickoff powered by Queen City Home Store, where you're always home. Darren Vaught with Reggie Walker. We're glad you're with us on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week, and we've got a good one suddenly. Riley Daniels boots it away for the Rams. It's back into the end zone for a touchback. So Mallard Creek will begin things at their own 20.
A big drive right now. I mean, look, I know I keep saying that, but at this point, if you're the Mavericks, you've got to get your offense that you got to put your foot back on the gas. This is clearly a Rolesville Rams group that's not going to go away. They've had a strong response here in the third quarter, late second quarter, into the third quarter. You've got to keep your foot on the gas. You're going to have to score more points to close this game out with a victory, with based on what we've seen here in this third quarter and in the latter part of the second quarter.
Sam Cheeseborough continues at quarterback for Mallard Creek. He's joined by Josh Person, the sophomore running back. And it's immediately given to Person, who's bottled up inside the 20-yard line. A loss of yardage there. Big, emphatic play by Jack McHugh.
Conspicuous by their silence earlier in the game, getting louder, that Rolesville crowd on the opposite side of the field.
2nd and long. Cheeseborough fakes the give. His pass batted right back to himself. Cheese with the catch and running with it. Gets by the 15-yard line.
I think he compounded a problem. This ball gets batted back to him. You got to let this hit the ground. Because of that, he's going to end up with a block in the back as well, or a low block. So they might get penalized on top of this negative play. This could push them very far back in their own end here.
So you see the flag. You also see an injured Ram. Avery Fleet is the down player.
Yeah, I wonder here, the way they threw that flag, I wonder if somebody offensively tried to come back and throw a block and either went low or got into someone's back and turned this into an illegal block situation here, which would likely be a personal foul if that is indeed the call. Now, if you're Rolesville, do you think about potentially declining it because it's a negative play anyway? So you don't give them the down back. But I think you take the yardage here and force them to be more predictable with their play call.
And the indication is such, a block in the back. So that's a good point. I mean, I think it's a very natural response by Cheeseborough. Ball batted in your direction. You want to pick it up and run it in live play, but then you're out of system at that point, right? And it's just totally reactionary for everyone around you. There's really not a plan for that.
No, there isn't. You're playing instinctive. Listen. Let me defend him extensively here as well. You get two guys in your face and the ball gets batted back to you. The last thing you want is for one of those guys to catch the football. So you react and catch it. And so again, I don't want to seem as if it's a quote bad decision, but what compounded that decision was the block in the back and the additional loss of yardage. Now you're backed up inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, 2nd and 20. Good to see Rolesville's Avery Fleet just a moment ago get himself over to the sideline. Cheeseborough fakes the handoff. Awkward throw. Finds Mason Kelly. Spinning, pirouetting even past the 25-yard line.
That's an unbelievable play right there, really by both guys. Not only is this throw difficult under duress, you've got a defender on your throwing arm, but you get enough on it to allow your receiver to go get it and make a play.
Makes it 3rd and 4 for Mallard Creek. Cheeseborough.
That's going to come back. That's an illegal shift. They didn't get lined up properly, and it's going to cost them. It's going to be 3rd and 9 here. Unless they decline it, I think that's a pre-snap penalty because it's an illegal shift. Well, if they call an illegal shift, it is not. If it's an illegal formation.
Okay, so it is an illegal shift, penalty declined,
right.
And now it'll be 4th down because they did not get the first down yardage anyway.
And it's during the play, correct. Yep. But if they had called a false start, there would be no play essentially, and they would get the down back.
Mallard Creek now unsuccessful on 2 third down tries from 3 yards and then just 4 yards. Wow. That's their start offensively to the second half. Ashton Blevins receives the low long snap and punts it away. Another one not really doable for Gavin Waddell. It bounces right to him.
Yeah, but he called fair catch there. So he was smart to hold on to it tight, though.
Yeah.
So look, this is a Rolesville offense right now. Last couple of possessions, they were able to get some points on the board. The confidence is up. see how this Mallard Creek defense handles things here.
And given the way Mallard Creek has played special teams so far, from the 37-yard line, pretty decent field position.
2:52 to go. If they can go get a touchdown here, they're down 22-21, potentially going into the fourth quarter.
Waddell catches, and it's a medium gain.
Clock continues to run, but nice defense that time by the Mavericks. Their coverage has, by and large, been really tight throughout this ballgame. They've done a nice job defensively. Last couple of possessions, the Rams have been methodical and driven the ball down the field.
2nd and 5. Williams hands it to Brown. Tries to redirect it, and he's swarmed by the Mavericks in the backfield.
Yeah, that's where Brown's got to be a little more patient and understand there's just nothing there. Stick your head down, get 1 or 2. Don't go backwards. He's fine right here. Then he retreats trying to do something huge and gives up valuable yardage.
Legendary tackle brought to you by Queen City Home Store, taking on the toughest stains at home with the toughest washers in the game. Now it's 3rd and 8. Rolesville 2 for 2 on third so far in the second half. Williams. Tight space, and it's knocked away incomplete. Intended for A.J. Roberts, 4th down.
Chase Spellman again. We've said that about him several times tonight, about his coverage in man-to-man situations. Tight coverage, that time again, great technique, and he's able to knock that football away.
Punt formations for both teams. .144 left in the third quarter. Daniels punt. Bounces to Kelly. Here he goes with some space. That inside move got him free to head to the edge. And he's out near the 40.
He will make you miss in a phone booth. That young man is quick in space. How good is this? Right here. Little hezzy, as they call it. And then all of a sudden he's able to get back outside. That is well done by Mason Kelly.
We knew he had the straight line speed.
Yeah.
10-time state champ in track and field. But the shiftiness, it adds an entire other layer to his football game.
As the kids say, he got that wiggle.
1st and 10 for the Mavericks. Cheeseboro ripped to the ground. Malachi Harris got to him very quickly and executes the finish.
Yeah, that's big-time play there for the Rams. Harris had a really strong first half. He'd been quiet much of the latter part of the second quarter and into the third, but right here, that is a big-time play to set up a 2nd and very long.
Cheeseboro now goes right to Kelly, who's tripped up, and he's ruled down. Tried to keep himself up with his hand, but had a knee drop down to the ground, and now it'll be 3rd.
If you're the Mavericks here, 1st down, and you can start to think about working some clock as the fourth quarter begins. You don't want to shut down your offense, but you can be a little bit more deliberate.
Cheeseboro, play fake, airs it deep into the air. Price catches, and he's free. Pay dirt for the Mavericks. Khalil Price with a touchdown. "65 yards, the deep connection." Blevins with the extra points. makes it 29-14.
This is a great job by Cheeseborough. Reads the situation. He's got a blitzer in his face, so he puts it up there for Price to go get it. And what ended up happening there was Kalen Johnson was in position. He just didn't attack the ball properly. You'll see it to the top left of your screen. Watch him here. He's in position number one. He just misplays the football. Price does an excellent job with his ball skills to understand the situation and a handoff to the official as he crosses the goal line.
Second touchdown from Cheeseborough to Price today. It was a 31-yard score to begin the game. 65 yards there with just 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
And he's got to see the photo on the sideline. He needs to see what it looked like. Young man said, let me see what I did.
Well, this was looking to be a shutout of a third quarter for Rolesville.
Yeah.
They had the advantage in the third, 14-0 prior to that huge play. Levens, it's returnable. Up man is Fleet, and he's dropped inside the 30.
We talked about how both of these teams were very, very explosive, and we saw an example of it again right there from Mallard Creek. Price does an excellent job as Cheeseborough puts it up there and lets his receiver go get it.
I'm going to circle back on a theme that you highlighted earlier. How do you respond?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Mavericks responding in a big way in this third quarter. Williams goes deep, and it's picked off. Interception. Josiah Peters, the senior, reels it in. Back-to-back huge plays for the Mavericks.
He telegraphed it. You cannot stare it down against a team this good on defense. Stared it down. You saw the attempt at the shoulder roll. It did not hold a safety, did not drag up a defender. Nobody bites on it. There's the shoulder roll right there. Nobody bites. And you just hang it up there with a safety playing over the top. See, he's playing topside coverage, allowing anything underneath. Got a little bit greedy there and throws it to the other team. Got to be smart with the football in all situations.
Another response for Mallard Creek.
They've been excellent defensively all night long. Gave up some plays, but they've been really good defensively.
Xavier Edmond brought down to the ground. Xavion Griffin Haynes the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Rams wanted a fumble. And that concludes the third here at Mallard Creek. But there is a flag down on the field, so let's see what that is first.
I wonder if they're getting Griffin Haynes for an unsportsmanlike or a personal foul there. And I'm going to defend him a little bit. When you've got a ball carrier that's continuing to fight for yards, you've got to find a way to get that player on the ground. That's a tough call. That's a really tough situation right there.
So now, I think maybe trying to get a decision from the Mallard Creek sideline. It is a personal foul. And that'll send us into the fourth quarter. So no, still the third, and we will run one more play.
Yep.
So Rolesville had it right. They stayed out onto the field.
Again, I understand the call. Actually, they're flipping the field here. They're flipping the field here.
So just getting a jump start on the fourth quarter. Flip the field. We'll run one play. And
oh, no. No, they just ran to the wrong side of the ball there after the penalty was marked off. Here we go.
Yeah.
We got it squared away. Still third quarter here, it looks like. And there's the end of the third quarter.
all right. On to the fourth quarter. 29-14 lead for Mallard Creek over Rolesville. Hang with us on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Start of the fourth quarter here on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week on WCCB's MeTV. With Reggie Walker, I'm Darren Vaught. Mallard Creek had given up consecutive scores to Rolesville in the third quarter. The Rams got it within 8, but then a huge 65-yard strike for the Mavericks puts the home team up by 15 again. And then an interception. So Mallard Creek with possession to begin the fourth quarter. Sam Cheeseborough runs it himself immediately. A couple of flags come flying out.
Yeah, this is going to be an illegal shift. They never got set offensively. Multiple guys were moving as the ball was snapped. This is going to come back.
Illegal shift. And it does, in fact, come back.
Okay, see, watch the left side of the offense. See, there's three guys still trying to figure out where they're supposed to be. Multiple guys still moving. That's going to be a penalty every time. And part of that, look, that's partially on the quarterback as well. You've got to give, I know you're trying to go with a quick count, got to give your guys time to get lined up where they're supposed to be.
Mallard Creek slow out of the huddle, perhaps well aware that it's a two-score game. Not as worried about the clock, but then again, they try to hurry up the snap. And again, it's a penalty on the Mavericks.
Now, as they're giving away yardage here, because again, they're still not organized there, and there's the penalty. As they're giving away yards, one of the things that is happening is after they assess the penalty yardage, the clock winds. Now, the play clock is only at 25 after the penalty instead of 40, but they are eating up a little bit of clock here. Got a two-score lead. One would require at least 1 2-point conversion as well, and an extra point on the other end. And now to avoid a delay of game, they're going to burn a timeout here.
This looks a lot like earlier in the game when they were maybe trying to run some time off the clock in the first half and then committed more penalties because it kind of got them out of the rhythm.
Yeah, it's a tough balance, right? When you're trying to work a little bit of clock, if you stay in the huddle too long, you speed yourself up when you get to the line of scrimmage. But if you get out of the huddle too fast, you're asking a lot of big guys to stay in a stance for a long time. So there's a balance you got to find and strike in trying to do that. Very difficult sometimes to get to that spot for your football team.
Mallard Creek, a team that is not afraid to test themselves early in the non-conference schedule.
Both.
Yeah, Rolesville as well.
Rolesville.
I mean, it's kind of how they ended up in this.
Yeah, Rolesville, they're playing Mallard Creek. Next week, they're going to play Providence Daye, another really good football team as well.
Cheeseboro fakes the handoff, chucks it toward the sideline, incomplete.
And then on the Mallard Creek side of things, getting back to that schedule conversation, they open with Rolesville here. Then they're going to go play Warwick in Virginia. That's the same high school that Michael Vick went to. For those that are not aware, Michael and Marcus Vick, quarterbacks both out of Warwick High School up in Virginia.
Then they're going to Grayson in Georgia.
Yeah. We saw them last year down at Westside High School in South Carolina, and Anderson playing Prince Avenue Christian out of Georgia. Kennedy Tinsley not afraid.
Second and very long, and a handoff stuffed by the Rolesville defense. Harris as well as Griffin Haynes in on the tackle.
And if you're Rolesville right now, this is what you need. You got to stay calm, make plays like this, and understand there's still more than 10 minutes to go in this game. There's an opportunity. There's going to be several more possessions in this game. You just have to maximize each one on offense and do a great job defensively.
3rd and 24 for Mallard Creek. Cheeseboro fakes the give, throws it over the middle. Khalil Price for the first down and then some. Weaves his way through the defensive backfield and into the end zone for a Mallard Creek score. There's a flag on the play, so we will see.
This is either going to be a hold or a personal foul hitting the quarterback late, and it's going to be a hold, and that play's coming back. Big hold right there if you're Mallard Creek. If that penalty does not occur and this touchdown stands, that might have been the exclamation point on this ball game. You see it right there in the middle of the screen. Yeah, it's you can't got that hand up inside, up around the collarbone area, and that's going to be a penalty flag on an offensive lineman every time.
It would have been a 55-yard score. Now Mallard Creek has third down again from their own 35. They've got to get it to the 31 on the other side.
34.
Cheeseboro gives to the sideline. It's caught, but it's only going to go for a 6 or 7 yard gain.
So huge for Rolesville here to get off the field on third down, force a punt. What can they do with it when they get it back? The way this Mallard Creek defense has been playing for most of this game, can Rolesville mount a strong drive and put some points on the board? Or does Mallard Creek shut the door once again with their defense?
And Rolesville there, Reg, too, doing a great job with field position or ultimately getting the edge in the field position battle, getting Mallard Creek 24 yards behind schedule.
And Waddell is about 10 yards closer to the punt than he's been all night.
Blevins kicks it to the air. Waddell will let it bounce, receives, and is wrestled to the ground immediately. Incredible coverage. Spellman was there at the point. That's been the difference for Mallard Creek.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Blevins has been just splendid in this ballgame.
Because, again, we were just talking about Mallard Creek had 3rd and 34. They were 24 yards behind schedule on what had been a very positive drive. Yet the punt by Blevins kind of erases all of that.
Every time. He has been very much a factor in this ballgame.
Rolesville now. Pressure against Williams. Pivots away from Harris and gets positive yardage.
They've got to give him some time to make some plays with these receivers on the outside. There's plenty of talent, but they're not able to get any of these guys opportunities on a consistent basis to get out in space and make plays.
Gain of 6 up to the 16. It's 2nd and 4. Williams into the flats. Amir Brown shuffles and gets a couple more. Victor Collier on the tackle.
Yeah, Mustafa did an excellent job. I thought maybe they were a little late getting the ball to Brown out there in space. Didn't matter. Mustafa erases everything with his ability to tackle in space.
Third and 2. Williams sneaks a throw to Roberts, caught, and it moves the sticks.
Wow.
It's another Bodyworks Plus first down, Charlotte's certified collision repair center. Though they are a little late to move the chains.
I think.
And now maybe they're going to measure.
Nope. Now they say first down.
Now they say. All right. Opening weekend for everyone.
This is a big drive right here. If you're Rolesville, now you got to start thinking about, can we get a big play because the clock is no longer your friend? If you're Mallard Creek, don't allow anything big. Keep it in front of you. Come up and be smart and efficient with your tackling.
Williams, plenty of time, throws over the middle. He's got Waddell. A stutter step, gets to the edge, and is rammed out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
I think the most important thing you said right there is out of bounds. Save some clock. This is a great job. Watch the protection. They slide the line left. They send their tight end and the back, Brown, to the right. Both Browns, actually. They send both of them to the right to hold up that side of the protection. Gives him plenty of time to come back across the field to Waddell for a big play. Well executed.
40 yards on the reception. Now Williams gives a play fake to the sideline, and again it's intercepted. Mallard Creek with the head of steam. Chase Spellman. Touchdown. And again, we await a ruling because there is a flag on the field.
This might be a post-play penalty on one of the Rolesville offensive linemen, I believe. And they're going to the book, so somebody might be getting ejected here. If they write a number down.
After the play, I Reed Lips okay. And this will be a player for each side. It is a touchdown. And it is a 21-point Mallard Creek lead. Ashton Blevins on for the extra point. It is up. It is good. And just as it was at the half, though it looks a little different for the Mavericks, it is a 22-point Mallard Creek lead. 6.5 to play on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. .2-point lead for Mallard Creek in the fourth quarter. This kickoff powered by Queen City Home Store, where you're always home. A pick six to go along with the offensive productivity for the Mavericks and a special teams touchdown earlier in the game. A punt blocked and then returned for a score. Mallard Creek again kicks to an up man. Malachi Harris on the return for Rolesville. And just prior to the break, an interception return. Chase Spellman 70 yards to the house.
Yeah, great job by Spellman. What they tried to do in that situation is basically they wanted to run Roberts up the sideline on a fade route. And then Waddell was coming behind him. Waddell's in the slot. On the outside is Roberts. Waddell's coming on an out route. Spellman knew he had safety help over the top, so he just sat on that route. As soon as that football came out, he broke on it, and then it was to the house, stepping over lines down the sideline. Excellent read by Spellman, understanding he had help over the top.
Rolesville back down by 3 scores. Williams looking for Waddell in triple coverage, and it's incomplete. A lot easier to cover that when you got the clock and the score on your side if you're Mallard Creek.
And you know that they're going to push the ball deep, right?
Yeah.
You're going to concede anything underneath and then rally and tackle because the clock is on your side. You've got a 3-score lead. So that right now going to be tough to push the ball down the field because Mallard Creek's going to give you this 3-high safety look consistently on this drive.
Williams under pressure, dumps it to Brown. Flags came out. Brown saunters his way close to the 40-yard line on the other end.
Yeah, it was too many men on the field. Matthew Harris unable to get off on time after the substitution. They're going to decline it and take the yardage. Harris tried to jump in the air to get off on time, was not able to get off the field on time.
Tried to create the illusion,
Absolutely.
right? You might not be to the sideline yet, but your feet aren't inside the
I'm
bounds
not
of
on
play.
the bounds of play, that's it. Well, this is coming back the other way. Maybe it wasn't that. Is this an offensive penalty? It's a hold offensively. And the illegal substitution, so the penalty's offset. Wow.
Yeah,
that is huge.
That's a bailout for Mallard Creek for sure.
And now the clock winds as well.
2nd and 10. Williams airs it. And out of bounds just past midfield. That was Davis Brown on the catch.
Yeah, I wondered when they would get him more involved in the game. Big physical tight end, FIU commit. His brother Byram plays quarterback at South Florida. Big physical quarterback. I had a chance to do one of their games last season, but he was injured. There was some conversation that he may come back that game. They were playing Charlotte. He was unable to get back and finish the season pretty much injured, I think, until the postseason.
1st and 10 for Williams. He escapes what would have been a sack. Shoves another man off of him, eventually brought down by Mustafa.
Yeah, he's got to get rid of the football there. You've got to get rid of the football. And Davis Brown is, I think that's Davis Brown's a little bit banged up on the play.
5:39 remaining.
So the clock stops because of the injury. 5.5 minutes left in the game. We'll see Kennedy Tinsley for Mallard Creek in his 6th season as their head coach. Just walked off the left side of your screen. Got to be happy with the performance his Mavericks players have turned in so far.
Absolutely. I think I said Davis Brown. I think that's Logan Pulley, the offensive lineman, 74, not 14. But getting back to your point, Kennedy Tinsley's got to feel great about it. Think about the situation, all the changes we've seen in NCHSAA football, right? Everything that we've seen. This is a Mallard Creek team right now, a 3-score lead over a Rolesville team that's considered one of the top 5 teams in the state, right? But with all of the changes, we already talked about how Mallard Creek's going to go play Warwick. A very difficult schedule. But listen to this with the new alignment in terms of conferences. Butler, Independence, Julius Chambers, Mallard Creek, North Meck, and West Charlotte all now in the MEC Power 6 in terms of a conference together. That's 17 state championships in one conference. And for the people at home, I said that in alphabetical order, so I don't need anybody sending emails. I said the teams in alphabetical order. But think about that. West Charlotte's a reigning 3A champion, obviously no longer at 3A because of the 8 divisions. We know what Mallard Creek's history has been. We know what Independence history has been. And then we know what Butler's history has been as well, along with Julius Chambers and North Meck. So a very difficult league as you see the scramble out of bounds. This is a big test for Mallard Creek early, and at the very least, they've answered it.
Ancho Williams making it a much more manageable 3rd down for the Rams. A gain of 12 on the scramble. 3rd and 4 to go. Rolesville, 3 for 4 on 3rd downs in the second half. Williams straight up, passes, he's got Brown. And that's shy of the 1st down marker. So it'll be 4th and 1.
Yeah, they obviously got to go here.
Tackle just short of the marker by Spelman. 4th down. 5 minutes remaining. Let's go, Maverick defense. 4th down.
And with the spot, this is more like a 4th and 2. Handoff. Brown finds his way through for the first and is brought down all the way down to the 35.
I'll say this as well. Regardless of the outcome here, both of these teams will be heard from when it comes to November and into December.
Williams hit after he threw. Brown sprawls out for the catch and reels it in at the 21.
How about that? Getting the big mid out there. The big guy, the tight end, working over the middle, calls for it. Watch him go. Look at that. Just stabs that thing with one hand. Nice play by the tight end there, number 14, Davis Brown.
Another first down. Approaching the red zone for Rolesville. Williams. A lot of time. A step to his right, goes to the corner, and finds Waddell just before the goal line.
Yeah, he was a little late getting to him. If he'd seen him a little bit sooner, he would have got him. I think that would have been a touchdown. He was a little bit late coming back to him.
So now Rolesville is in the Vaccines for Kids red zone. North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Vaccines for Kids program. Go to vaccineforkids.nc.gov. Brown gallops into the end zone for his first rushing score of the night from a yard out.
Yeah, just line up, get in a tight formation, and get a little push. Ask your offensive line to give you some push. Good vision by Brown, finds a hole, gets in the end zone.
The kick by Daniels is through.
36-21 with 3:41
So a 15-point contest with 3:41 to play. Look, this week we've talked a lot about the statement we saw Rolesville make coming to Charlotte.
Yep.
And putting, quite frankly, a beating on Butler to begin last season.
Absolutely.
That campaign ended in a trip to the state championship game for Rolesville.
Yeah, think about it.
I mean, if you think that wasn't on Kennedy Tinsley and the rest of Mallard Creek's coaching staff's minds approaching this game, you're crazy.
Absolutely correct. And you know, this is a Rolesville team that they were dominant last season against everybody except Grimsley, who they lost to twice. That's the only team that could handle them. And, you know, you look up this season, and it seems like the magic number is 35. They lost 35-20 to Grimsley, and then in the state championship, they lost 35-23. So if you can find a way to get 35 points, not easy to do, that seems to be the magic number, at least the last year and some change, of how to beat Rolesville.
And the Rams try an onside kick.
Yeah, I think he touched it about a half yard too early.
Otherwise, Daniels tapped it with his foot, followed it the whole way. Yeah, so they did touch it too early.
See it right here. It's actually really well executed. He's got the kick there. Oh,
yeah, that's
that's really close, but officials were right on top of it, and now they'll kick it again, and going to be hard to do it again. Might have to pooch it over someone's head and hope one of your guys can run it down this time.
So now keep in mind, 5-yard difference. So before, Daniels had to let it get to the 50 before he could touch it. This time it's going to be the 45. The last line of play you see, last increment on the left of your screen. So they try it again, and it does get past the 45, still rolling around, and Mallard Creek comes up with it.
I think that time he was looking for the line instead of the football. He probably would have had it, but got caught up in the wash there and was unable to get his hands on it. Take another look. See right here, it's right in front of him. He gets a little bit of a bump, and now he's knocked off the spot, and he can't get to it. But they had an opportunity there. Riley Daniels had a chance, unable to bring it in.
So Mallard Creek with possession, and they've got 3:38.
And I think we're going to see a lot of Edmond here with the football, as well as potentially Person running the football. I don't see a reason to even think about throwing this football.
A couple of sophomores that have been highlighted in the backfield for Mallard Creek this season, or this tonight to begin their season, rather. Cheeseborough will run it himself and fights his way for a gain of 4.
Griffin Haynes again loses his helmet. Xavion. Actually, check that. Yeah, Xavion. They've got to identify that last name because there's 2 of them out there.
So he has to leave the field for a play.
If you're Mallard Creek here, you're not snapping this football with more than 10 seconds on the play clock.
There's 10 on the play clock. Mavericks to the line of scrimmage. Cheeseborough waits for everybody to be set this time. Runs it himself, gets to the second level, and is tripped up at the 30-yard line. Samuel Herman, the linebacker for Rolesville, on the tackle. And a flag, a hold on the offense. Now 2nd and 16. Cheeseborough fakes the give, takes it himself again. A jolt into the secondary. It pops away, and Rolesville comes up with the fumble.
Wow.
Darion Newborn with the recovery here.
I was just getting ready to say I love the decision to not even deal with any ball handling. And then Cheeseborough puts it on the ground. Nice job coming from the outside. Marquise Bryant knocks that ball away from that right side and forces the fumble and gets it back for his football team.
Still a 2-score game. It's still 2 minutes, 15 seconds. I mean, that's a rather big swing if you're Rolesville, because that looked like it was on its way to being another 22-point deficit.
That's right.
So now Williams receives the shotgun snap in his own end zone. Trying to break free and tosses out of bounds.
Yeah, I think this is the perfect time if you're Rolesville. You're running guys deep. I think this is where you got to think maybe check down to the back. There's probably going to be some space. They don't want to give up anything big. Check it down to Amir Brown and see if maybe he can get out in space and do something big for you. Going to be difficult to get it to Waddell or Roberts down the field. 3 high safety look. Corners playing bail technique with off coverage as well.
Second down. Williams does just that. Dump down to Brown, who collapses at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, he didn't see much there and got on the ground. And again, rally and tackle, that's the mindset.
We're under 2 minutes.
Third and 10. Williams, tight space, and it's incomplete.
The coverage throughout this ball game, regardless of the situation, from Mallard Creek has really been good. They've done a really nice job against Waddell and Roberts. Don't get me wrong, those guys have made their share of plays. They've made their catches. But by and large, the coverage has been pretty tight on those guys throughout this game.
Daniels punting from all the way back in the end zone.
Fielded by Chase Spellman.
Spellman here on the return and inside the 35.
Brought down at about the 34-yard line. 1:06 remaining.
I think if you're Mallard Creek, this is the old victory formation time right here. I don't think you need to run anything. You probably can just kneel the ball game out.
Next week, Newport News, Virginia, against Warwick High School. High School of NFL legend Michael Vick. The Mavs will have a 12 noon kickoff on Saturday.
What a performance by Mallard Creek. I mean, this is quite the statement to open up the season. The roster has an interesting makeup, right? Coach Tinsley was telling us about it. It's a group of seniors that he feels especially close to, given just kind of the adversity that they've dealt with, the time spent with them. Also, his own maturation as a head coach, he pointed to as kind of part of that process. And then they've got the sophomores. We mentioned the tailbacks earlier, plenty of sophomores making big plays for the Mavericks in this game tonight, that this is their first varsity experience.
And I want to make that point specifically, particularly with this offensive line. Most of those offensive line guys are sophomores. They're young players, and they held up against a front seven throughout this game tonight that is really, really talented, and they did a nice job. Austin Ballou, Michael Hurd, those types of guys played excellent tonight at the line of scrimmage against a very talented defensive front seven from Rolesville.
Mavericks looking to run out the clock. They run it with Zaire Eisen.
They'll have to snap it at least one more time. But I think they're in the old victory formation, if you will.
Talking about those sophomores, the quarterback now in the game, Zayden Paler, number 17 in Navy. Part of that group. Varsity players for the first time. Tinsley bragged a lot on his JV teams and their performance over the past couple of years. He said the guys that have been down there have been great, 9-1 in consecutive seasons. So Paler kneels it, and that will send the clock to 0. What a victory for the Mavericks of Mallard Creek, toppling state runners-up, the Rams of Rolesville, on opening night of the high school football season. 15 points the difference, Reg. This is going to be a fun team to see on our travels across high school football in the Charlotte area this season.
That's absolutely correct. Defensively, what they can do. And I think the other thing, look, with all due respect to Perry Justice, I think they found a quarterback tonight as well in the form of Sam Cheeseborough. I thought he was really, really good tonight in a tough situation, having to come into this ball game and lead his team. I thought he was excellent in his role. Late fumble, but otherwise he played really well.
We thank you so much for watching the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week on WCCB's MeTV. This week's game was brought to you by Queen City Home Store, your whole home destination. By North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Vaccine for Kids program. Go to vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. By Bodyworks Plus, Charlotte's certified collision repair center. And by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet, home of the Silverado guys. Visit fredcaldwellchevy.com. For Reggie Walker, our producer and director Brady Pugh, the rest of our great crew here from Mallard Creek. Final score 36-21. The Mavs take a big Week 1 victory from the Rams on their home turf. I'm Darren Vaught. Thanks so much for joining us. So long. We'll see you next week on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.